button.
Probably give you a light cheap beer.
We
and
are
we're already
Mr.
live,
Paul.
so I don't know what you're doing with your lights.
Here, let's do infinite.
Hopefully you have your pants on. So.
Infinite screen. There we go. Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 77 of the Home Theater Hub. We're glad that you joined us tonight. We have a wonderful guest, and it's been a long week, so I'm sure we're all looking forward to an exciting show.
Yeah, so Paul was under the impression that it wasn't time for the show yet because his automatic lights didn't cut on, so that's bothering him. So he's trying to get his background lighting to go here. So
Probably just went to grab a beer.
He's got a
button.
One too many adult beverages already. That's what happened.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, something fruit flavored.
Hey, so I think we got a good show lined up today. We got our special guest Mike.
Oh, okay.
Mike joining us today. We've not had. I don't think we've had a show like this to where we have somebody that actually makes subwoofer and speaker box cabinets. So I think this is going to be a delight for everyone here. So Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, we Mike and I met through Facebook like many of our guests and just reached out. I thought it would be a fantastic subject that we could talk about. And hey, even promote your business, Mike, because we'd love to get you some more business. And I mean, from what I see, you definitely have some quality products over there. So
yeah.
Give us a little bit of information about yourself, Mike.
Well, I'm out of Chicagoland area. Name of the company is mjmaudioboxes.com. That's my website. And what I do is I provide solutions to people in the home theater world who can't fit. So, for instance, say your screen only comes out 18 inches from the wall. You have acoustically transparent screen, and you can't find a box to fit back there. But you want an 18, you want a 15, a 24-inch sub, whatever you want. That's where I come and play. I could design a box to fit the exact space that you have. So if it's near field, right behind the last row, I make angled boxes, sealed, ported, anything you want. So a lot of my customers come to me and say, hey, I really want these 18s. I want 4 of them, but I have 20 inches of depth in the back of my room, but I could go 32 inches high. So I design it, I model it with software and build it to fit exactly what they need in their room. So that's where I'm a little bit different than like a company out there that you would find on the internet, like JTR or something.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
So I'm kind of like a solution to a home theater. If you're in a tight space or wherever you want it, I make it work.
Yeah, so we will definitely do a deep dive into all that in a little bit. But Mr. Ike, how was your week, sir?
It's been good. Busy with work and just a couple of things going on around the house. Kids, soccer. The season is almost over, so they got one playoff game this weekend, and then we're done for the summer. So I'm kind of excited about that, but I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
You must have been bored because we're not getting the side profile anymore. We're head on again.
Not really. What happened was
body language is everything.
Actually, yeah, I guess. But I was using the camera to shoot a video in the theater. And then I was like, I'm not gonna put it together and then take it back. So it's like just gonna use the other camera sitting here. So
okay.
That's why you get in the view.
I was wondering if you got tired of the professional side view, that we get.
Nah. This is the easy one, but it looks good though. Not bad.
You're seeing my best side.
Let me turn around.
So,
Mr. Paul, how about you, sir? How was your week?
Busy, very busy. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. But I did manage to sneak in some theater time, so um, that's always appreciate it when I can sit down and enjoy a movie with the wife. And um, so yeah, so we got to partake, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Also been talking to Abe from 3D 3D Sound. So we're getting closer to the actual design for my treatments and wall coverings
That's
and
great.
stuff like that. So it's definitely coming along in the right direction to where I'm hoping to be able to order some products soon, and hopefully it'll be here for Memorial Day weekend because my wife is working, and I plan on that being a full weekend, 5 days of work to try to uh, get that done.
Yep.
My son may have other plans for me, but but we shall see. Or that's the intention. So how about you,
They
Mike?
always do.
How about you, Mike? How was your week?
Oh, it was great. Great. Just worked. This weekend, it is playoffs for lacrosse for my son. Um, finishing up 8th grade with him. So we're doing a little graduation party for him. And
Nice.
yeah, I got the weekend off, took tomorrow off and the weekend. So I'm a happy man right now.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. I got a little bit of playtime in the theater room too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What were you able to accomplish or watch?
Just watched. Yeah, just John Wick. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big
Oh.
fan of John Wick. I watched that
Just
movie.
just that.
There's no
Yeah.
just John Wick.
Well,
I
well,
watched
what-
that movie
One,
probably
it's
100
3
times,
hours
so.
long, and then it's a good
Which
movie.
John Wick are we? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
First one.
First one. Okay.
Yeah. No, his movie's coming out soon, so I'm kind of doing a little refresher, going through all the stuff. So
There's a John Wick 5 coming out.
there is, what is it called? Oh God, is it?
I think I saw the news. Yeah.
Yes, there's a woman in there. It's her name too. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, let's look at that. Let's look
The
that
world
up.
is changing, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick.
We'll look it up over here. Let's see, because you're on your phone, right? So we
Yeah.
should go.
Yep. John Wick 5.
John Wick 5.
John Wick 5. I mean, how many more people can this guy kill, right?
Right?
Yeah. Right? It's like there's not many people left. I mean, he's dismantled several, syndicates. So
There's actually a count. If you Google it, you'd be like, how many people did John Wick kill?
Oh, God.
It's crazy. Each movie, they have like a whole listing. It's like 100 and something. And yeah, it's a little crazy, but it's a fun movie.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. I just want to know what kind of tech is behind those Kevlars those guys wear, man. Because Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
those
There's
things
actually-
can stop anything.
I think it's June 6th, if I'm mistaken, where it's
Oh wow.
the whole like behind the scenes, like how John Wick first started. I think they had like $4 or $6 million to do the movie, and the producer had to, I think, sell his house to make the movie. And it was like the whole like that's in June, and then John Wick 5 follows.
So this says I don't know how old this is, but it says John Wick 5. It's targeted late 2026 for the release.
Okay, then that's got to be it.
Yeah. I
gotta
don't
be.
see the official. It just says John Wick Chapter 5 for
Okay.
the official title.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
rewatching John Wick. Anything else? Were you able to partake in the theater?
No, just that. Just been busy with work. God, I've been like, if you see behind me, I'm building dual 24s. So I got that, and then I have the single 24s. I have to do one more dual box still. So I've been going like nonstop every day, just build. I go to work, come home. If the kids don't have practice, I'm out in the garage just trying to knock these boxes out. So yeah, the goal is 3 weeks to have them completely done on a pallet, shipped out to New Jersey. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
So Andrew says it's called the Ballerina.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So what about you, Paul? Were you able to partake in anything in the theater this week?
I went to live performances this
Nice.
Okay.
week. I went to Branson, well, Hollister actually, and stayed in a German like neighborhood. I guess it's all like this whole block is all German stuff, and stayed at a hotel, whatever they call the old English Inn or something like that. But I did that. Watched a couple live performances, bands, and then we did I about killed Jessica. We did a hike that started off. It says it's easy, which, if you're a climber or whatever, yeah, it's super easy. But we're talking stairs, like 1950s style,
Oh,
like
wow.
ladder stairs,
Mhm.
300 and I think 15 of them.
Wow.
Going down like 300 feet. Like you had to just, it would do like maybe 30 of them. And then it would turn, 10 more. Then you'd have this little ledge that was about, that wide sometimes, that, we're talking like 50-foot drops. I'm like, damn, how
Wow.
many people get hurt around here?
Did
And
you
there was
stop in Table Rock Lake by chance?
no, not this time, but yeah,
Branson?
I camp at Table Rock Lake all the time. Yeah, like all the time. I go down there, that or Eureka Springs. I go down every other once a month.
Yeah, so Mike is in Chicago, and you're not too far from Paul is in Kansas City. So
Yeah, we're about
cool.
6 hours away.
yeah.
I used to party up at Purdue, so Lafayette. So we used to go up to Chicago every now and then and have some fun. But that was whenever I was younger, so I was at the party.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Party places, where all the clubs and stuff were. So
Oh yeah.
and I did other things, obviously. I even rode my motorcycle up there when I used to live in Louisville. A little sport bike I had, and drove it around in Chicago traffic. That was not too fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, had a gun pulled on me, typical.
Oh yeah. That always needs to be added to the story, Paul.
Yeah. I'll be out by you.
And I still have no clue.
I'll be out by you this summer in a few weeks, Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh yeah, I'm down there.
Then,
Jessica's parents used to live down there, so I used to go down there.
My parents live in Branson right now, right on the lake.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, Table Rock Lake. So we're doing Lake of the Ozarks and then heading to Table Rock afterwards.
All we saw was Space Camp. What's the flavor?
They don't really give them flavors. It's an IPA.
Okay.
There's different styles of hazy and stuff like that. But
Is that a local brewery also?
Yeah, this is Boulevard Brewery. It's
very good.
No longer a micro or brew, even though they are at the Parkville Micro Brew Fest. So go figure. But anyways, yeah, we'll have to hook up sometime or something, because I'm down in the Ozarks and Branson all the time.
Well, Paul is putting how many 18s in his room eventually, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm sure you guys can either hook up, and Mike can either help you with some boxes or help you design some boxes.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear you.
Some additional boxes to your 18s.
Man, if I did that, I'd have to friggin' because all my wood tools, I would have to realign them. I mean, I use them like, last time I used them was to make my sound panels, and that's it. Nothing
fancy. Nothing
that actually had
nothing with the precision. That
nothing with a butted joint that I cared about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you partake in a lot of live events. How about you? Like anything in the theater? Were you able to watch anything this week, or
no
do
movies,
anything in the theater?
Just demos, a bunch of demos. I'm doing a review for the Lumagen Radiance Pro.
Nice.
So I'm walking through, just setting it up, and I know we spoke briefly last night about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of just setting it up. I need to reach out to Sammy Prescott. If you're watching, Sammy, you will get the call from me. But yeah, just mostly a bunch of demos, and then we're talking about subwoofers. I finally unboxed another 15-inch subwoofer that I have sitting in there. It's been sitting there for like a month now. So I'll probably spend the weekend just trying to calibrate that, trying to decide what exactly I want to do with that, and see if I want to stack them, if I want to position things around the room. Obviously subwoofer REW is not one of my strong suits. So
Right.
I try not to shake things up except someone is willing to kind of help me out. So yeah, well, not much. But this weekend, yes, I should be watching plenty of content.
Yeah.
Just one because of the review. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So I got to watch. I posted it on Home Theater Hub. So like literally the day after we did the live show last week, I watched Furiosa.
Yeah.
OMG.
Was
I
good?
mean, just an absolute
Action-packed.
action-packed, beginning to end reference video and audio. I understand why everybody put that as the number one movie for last year for home theater. I mean, just the visuals alone, you're just in awe with the visuals alone, and then just explosions everywhere and gunfire, and I mean, yeah, absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't seen Furiosa, Mad Max, that's the it's like the prequel to Mad Max, and it actually ends literally with I won't say it, but it ends with a scene from Mad Max. So it literally dives right into it, and that I watched that, and then one night my wife was she was tired, so I asked her. I said, "Hey, do you want to watch a movie?" And she says, "Well, what are you going to watch?" And I wanted to watch this new movie Warfare that just came out.
Oh yeah.
And I downloaded that, and it downloaded on the Kaleidoscape. Yes, drink everyone. Downloaded on the Kaleidoscape in less than 10 minutes. So I was able to watch that on the Strato V, and another fantastic reference movie. I mean, gunfire, there's quiet scenes, there's gunfire, there's tank explosions, there's everything in that you want, and it was actually a good movie. It's a true story based on the memories of Navy SEALs that were trapped in this house. So it was actually really good, and I wasn't done at that point either. So I was like, you know what, I want to see hear how The Star Is Born sounds in my theater, because I didn't have it downloaded.
That's a good demo.
Yeah, I've seen it, a couple times, but not in my theater, right? So since then, so right back to back, I watched, and this was at 2 and 3 a.m. And this will attest to my build. My wife was sleeping upstairs. I had Warfare on about -15.
Okay.
And the bass was going pretty good, and she didn't budge. She couldn't hear it. She couldn't hear anything. So I got pretty good tactile. I didn't quite go to reference. I did turn up to -10 a couple times. I thought, well, maybe I might wake her up, but she didn't hear a thing. And The Star Is Born, I put that on, and I cranked it. I mean, it was probably -5.
Oh wow. Okay.
And yeah, it didn't wake her up, and she's not a heavy sleeper. So I was impressed with that. My mother-in-law's she's in Miami, but she usually stays in the room above the theater. I'm sure I would have woke her up, but my wife is on the opposite side of the house. So hey, and since then I've probably watched The Star Is Born at least 2 other times. So that's how impressed I was with the sound. So and honestly, I've only done room perfect. I've not tuned the subs. I've not done anything.
You haven't even treated the room. That's
haven't
the
even
amazing
treated the
part,
room,
right?
Exactly, right. So yeah, so I mean, just I'm enjoying it, man. I really am. I'm trying to find spots out of my busy schedule to be able to enjoy the actual theater, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can get it to where it's fully functionable and everything over Memorial Day weekend. So hopefully I'm going to be dedicating a lot of time to it at that point in time. So
What do you have for mains in there? Your
so I'm
LCR?
using the Martin Logan 60 XTIs,
Okay.
so LCRs, and then the side, all the surrounds, side surrounds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. I have 2 sets of side surrounds, and then 2 back surrounds that are the Martin Logan's 35 XTI. So they have the same exact tweeter
Yeah.
that the 60 XTIs have.
The solid timber match is great.
Yep, everything. And then my wides also, they are an in ceiling, but they're angled,
Okay.
and they use the same exact tweeter, the 2-inch ribbon tweeter, that air motion tweeter that's in them. So everything is 100% timber matched. I actually was playing the Amaze demo
That's a fun one. Yeah.
for my wife, and she was really impressed with it. So yeah, so it's sounding pretty good for Room Perfect. I think there could be a lot. It could go a lot better, to be honest with you, but it still sounds really, really good, I think. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm enjoying it. Sound off in the chat. What are you guys watching out there? What do you guys been watching?
Everybody
Mike,
watches demos, man.
demos.
You know whose room? I got to tell, dude. I got to tell a little story about the Star is Born. You guys may know him. So my friend, he lives local. He's about 45 minutes away. Mark Giovanni. He's got all JTR room. He plays this demo. So all right. So his buddy develops software. He develops his own apps. So Mark in his room, when you sit in his first row, he has fans up front. So when she enters like the concert and starts to sing, however his buddy programmed it in the software, fans kick on so you feel like the wind hitting you. And they figured out how to make it quiet so you don't even hear the fans, you just feel the wind. It is the coolest experience.
That's in the Chicago. I think
We're just talking about that.
Yeah,
like
I think
last week, right?
Michael just went to this guy's house the other day. I think so. Michael Youthman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Stevens. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I saw videos on that too. I think the guy Nick and someone else came up with that. You know, that 4D effect.
Yeah,
you know?
that was Nick. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have seen that. I think that was at Tony's house too. I think, right?
Yeah, Tony has it too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a fantastic experience to get that 4D effect. I think one of the demos they did before was like the pod racing scene in Star Wars, and they were talking about how the fans kicked on when the pod race took off and and all that. So
it's wild.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty cool.
And I think Tony's got D-Box in his room too.
Mm-hmm.
So his chairs, if you guys know, but everyone watching out there, the D-Box, when say you're flying a plane or something, the seats move back and forth to it. It's really cool effect. I've seen it. I'd really want to experience it. Everyone tells me about it.
Yeah, I had a good friend. He was actually on one of the early shows, Jonathan. He went and demoed it somewhere, and he felt like it took him out of the movie. I guess because it was overused. You know what I mean?
Well, there's no way to underuse that. I'm the same way. It's cool as all get out. There's certain things that would be amazing for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just watching a movie, it's like, yeah.
I wonder if I would get like nauseous or something, like if you played Top Gun or something, if you'd get kind of.
No,
I mean, I've been to all kind of, I live 2 hours from Disney, so I've been to all the 4D theaters and all that.
You'd have to do the full attempted motion, and then you probably would get. But your field of view would also have to be way larger, like minimum 60-degree coverage to make you get that. But yeah, I've had not anywhere around here, but I've had some of those, and yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, shoot, the friggin' bass shakers used to annoy me, but now they've gotten them so good, and you can tune them with the, like a mini DSP or whatever, where before, back in when they first came out, man, to get something like a mini DSP was like $3,000. You ain't doing that just to delay match.
Yeah, no, I mean, I used to go to the AMC in Tallahassee, and they had D-Box in there, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't long as it wasn't over dialed in. I thought it was, over accentuating. If somebody shuts a refrigerator door, you don't want your seat to go like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
That's a good point. Yeah.
yeah.
You
Slam the door.
right, exactly. So it has to be calibrated to a point to where, okay, if I fire a tank missile, okay, I can see myself going backward and forward, right?
Yeah.
But
slow. I think that's where it would be more like a space shuttle taking off, right? And it just slowly rolls you back,
right.
And you don't
That'd
even
be cool.
notice it, but it kind of shakes you at the same time. Yes, now that is really cool, right? Because it just whoa, because you're still like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in the movie, you know what I mean? But it doesn't like you said. But that's everything, there's a lot of movies that are like that, it's bass every time something happens. You're like, wait a minute, there was a door closing. It had just as much bass as a nuclear bomb. Like what?
Exactly. That's your BEQ right there.
Yeah.
It's like when you get more bass from King Kong yelling than actually stomping his foot.
Yeah.
Like, it's not supposed to sound that way, but okay.
So, Mike, give us a little story. How did you get into this hobby? What got you into building boxes?
Well, I'm 47, so back in the day when I was younger, we worked at a shop called Audio Tech, and we did car audio. So I did alarms, and subs, and everything for cars. Car audio shop. Did that. Got older, got out of car audio, and then built my first home theater room, and then just kind of like was looking at stuff, and I thought to myself, I could do that. What's out there, for subs, and how can I make this work? I started off with two 10-inch Polk subs, and it was like an all Polk audio like room. It sounded nice. Room looked great, but I just wanted more bass. I was like, man, if I could just build something. So it all kind of just started there. Started building stuff, and then friends were like, hey, can you build me a box for my room? It just kind of kept going, and then finally I'm building so much, I go, well, I may as well start a little side thing, to start charging people, and here we are today. Now I've been nonstop for, God, I don't know what, 4 or 5 years. It's been a lot. It's every single.
Was this your main job now?
No, I make electricity for a living.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm a cogeneration engineer.
Okay, so I was gonna say engineer. All right, cool.
Yeah, I work in a power plant. We make electricity. Then the waste heat from that powers the boilers. Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
No, this is like just after work. I get home and work on this till it's dark, or not every day, but so I have 2 kids and a wife. But but it's been nonstop. So it's after this, I only have one in the booked after this, and hopefully I'll get a couple weeks off after that. I hope. It's been nonstop, but it's been fun. It's met a lot of people through this hobby. Building just all over United States, and it's just shipping stuff to Texas, New Jersey, San Francisco was one. God, it was so many different states, and just it's been a lot of fun just meeting a lot of different people, and you seeing the excitement on their face when they get the shipment in and they put it in the room. They'll send me pictures, and they're going, oh my god, I can't believe how much space I have in here. The guys come from 215s or 212s, and then all of a sudden now they have 418s, and it's a whole different world. And now it seems like the big the trend, everyone's buying 24s in the DIY speaker world. 18s was the big thing back in the day. Oh, that was Exponent, that picture right there.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you've met a lot of people.
Yeah, so that was so I was the spokesperson for Stereo Integrity. Um, so Exponent, I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Nick, the owner, Nick Lemons, and that's Lou. He owns a straight ahead. He owns a home theater company, north side of Chicago, and a couple other friends there. But no, I was the spokesperson for Stereo Integrity, just giving demos every day. We're on the third floor. It was a lot of fun. We had dual pose 24s in the room. We shook the heck out of the place. They shut us down. They didn't shut us down, but we were told to kind of.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Those people that are trying to sell high fidelity speakers don't like all that bass intruding into their rooms.
It was tough. It was really, really tough.
They don't like all the smiles coming out of that room.
They don't like the smiles coming out. You got to tell your guests when they come in, they got to put a straight face when they leave the room.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Newbie in the house. There it is.
Aaron's Audio Corner, Mark Seaton. Yeah, it was cool meeting a lot of different guys. Tons of different guys I see on like Facebook and just ABS forum, Audioholics. It was kind of neat putting like a face to like a username. So it was kind of neat doing that. But we shook we shook the place. So the first there was the Ferrari. Yeah, that was a really nice car. They had the setup there. I think it was what was it, $2 million, and they sold it last year. What everyone was saying.
Oh wow.
So yeah. But the first day, management came up who ran the show. 4:30, they said, "Please, shut the subs off for the day. Just play the towers. We're getting too many complaints." I guess we were making like a weird rattle, weird resonance, like on the fourth and fifth floor, and then Saturday was just we had like three noise complaints, and then Sunday we ended up stopping at noon. But it was fun because Nick goes, give it the beans, turn it up, show these people what the 24s could do. So we had it was a 9.5 cubic foot internal box with his new 24s, the HFS 24s in there, and it was they're shallow depth. They're like 8 3/4. So it's kind of like again, like if you have like a screen that only comes out, say, 15 inches or something from the wall, you could fit 24s behind there now. So it's kind of cool, like how it was a solution to home theater builders. But I met a lot
Big
of people
Jack,
there.
a regular of ours, he's giving you props too. He says he's seen a lot of your work on Facebook. He's legit.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, so I think Big Jack, I think he built a lot of his boxes
big
too.
DIY guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's
big
into DIY.
Yeah. So I don't. Did he do Parts Express, or do you remember what? I think he did do the Parts Express.
He did Parts Express, and someone built the boxes for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have some really nice flat packs in there too. The UM 1822s, and
I don't see how they sell them as cheap as they do.
I know. Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, I can't even buy it.
Can't even buy the wood.
I already have all the tools, and I can't even buy the lumber, let alone the time it takes.
They're really nice subs. You guys are friends with Jonathan in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bunch of those UM 1822s in his room.
Mm-hmm.
They're really nice.
I
They
bought
sound
all
great.
his old amps. He upgraded to a newer version.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna do the same thing he did, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can get a lot of really nice subs off Parts Express. God, they've the Eminence NSW 21s and in my room I have 421s. I have the B and C 21 DSs.
Nice.
The 115 8 ohms in a. Yeah, they're giant. They look like refrigerators. They're huge boxes, tuned to 15 hertz, and they could dig low. You have to be careful with them, but they go low and it sounds good.
So here's the age-old question for you: since you're building the boxes, ported or sealed?
Oh my God! People,
man, he's open a can of worms.
Those are
like,
fighting words there,
We
man.
got
There we go. There we go.
The big debate. Everyone asked me too, and like I can you build me this? What do you think? Sealed, ported, horn, or just So it's weird. So I had near field right now. I have 615s that are ported. I love the output they give. But man, when I had them sealed back there, they went so low and they sounded so good. It's such a tough question, you know. I think like if you want to get to like 8 hertz, 10 hertz in your room, don't get me wrong, you have to put a high pass filter on them. You're not going to give them, you only do so much with what the sub can handle. Only has so much X max, but it's yeah, if you could do sealed and put like one in each corner or two in each corner, be much better. I think 8, but
That's exactly what I got.
because I'm a base head. Yeah, do 8 sealed. 8 sealed's the way to go. I think if I did it down the road, just to save like the space and like they're lighter, they're easier to handle, and they sound really good. You know, unless you really see, like the only time, like my room, I could hit, I'm right around 140 dB. But to be honest with you, the only time I really turn it up that loud is when like people come over for a demo, the family comes over, or like friends or like a neighbor's like, hey, let me hear it. That's the only time I really turn it up because it's so loud. You'll go deaf. The whole house is shaking. My dog runs outside, freaks out. So it's the theater rooms. I have a 2-story foyer above the theater room on the first floor, and I make the chandelier bounce.
Oh wow!
So my wife gets a little like, hey, kind of, take it down a notch here.
Yeah.
So there's only, so sealed like.
You got to keep your phone in your hand just in case you get that text, right?
Exactly.
You might have to buy a new chandelier sometime.
Yeah. No, but sealed. I like sealed. They dig really low. Again, I've all ported my room. It's sealed. I like the sound from sealed. The nice warm sound. Digs low. It sounds good. You can EQ
and you just asked that question to get him on my good side. Because I'm the same way. It's so hard to truly integrate ported subs, especially. I mean, if you get all the same and stuff like that, you can do that, but it's just harder to integrate into a room where sealed subs you're getting. Because the sound's already bouncing 15 times across the room already. So now you're adding another, factor of phase or whatever you want to call it out of the port. And it's like, oh man, it's like, but at the same time, I've also, depends on what your goal is. If you're wanting to get, like you said, 5 hertz, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to get 5 hertz out of a sealed sub. I mean, sure, you get enough of them.
If you have 10 of them,
12 hertz, though,
You guys got me thinking. I'm envisioning 2 columns behind my screen.
Yeah.
Right. 2 18s up top with separated box, even though it's all one cabinet, separated box, 2 18s down the bottom, and then do the same thing in the back.
I stop at 4 up front.
Just go 8.
Do 6 up front and 6 in the back. The box is going to cost you the same. I mean, they'll just have to cut 2 extra holes. I mean,
well, you do want them to have the cubic footage, right? So you
could go at the top and then bring the other 2 down.
18 sealed doesn't take that much. Well, it depends on the frequency you're trying to reach. They don't take that much cubic volume, actually.
Yeah,
he's trying to go negative dB, man.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to be down to 8 hertz, 8 hertz, somewhere around there.
If they're sealed with the right amp, absolutely. I don't think you'd have a problem.
Yeah.
Do you have the Trinoff right now?
No, I have the Lindorf.
The Lindorf. Okay.
Yeah. So, but
the other $20,000 processor.
Man, I was looking at the Storm. I was watching somebody's Giles's video. By the way, go check out Giles's channel. He's doing an upgrade to his Storm, and man, I'm really leaning towards the Storm. Because it is modular. You can literally replace the whole entire motherboard and everything on that thing. So
I was gonna say, what I've seen, it's like the Trinov is kind of like the fancy, like if you just want to say I have the best audio, you get the Chernobyl. If you're, from what I've seen, if you're more of an engineering person and you want to tinker, I see those people getting the Storm.
So that's Mac versus PC, right?
I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It's same thing with like, if you're more into tinkering with video, maybe you'll go with the Lumagen versus the Mad VR. It's a little bit easier, it's like, they do the same thing, right? But it's like one of them is more like, okay, I can do like these 4 things and be good. But the other one's like, oh yeah, you literally have to learn everything. And
there's definitely Mac versus Windows, right? If you want
Yeah.
ease of use, get a Mac. If you want to play around with drivers that get updated every 2 weeks,
yeah,
they get a Windows.
And
I tell you what, I'm not an Apple person at all. You saw my phone; it's a Samsung Galaxy phone. But I will say for tablets and computers, I barely scratched the surface with this damn MacBook that I got. But I can tell you, I don't get any viruses on the damn thing. I don't have any issues. With malware and that I know of anyway. You know what I mean? So
you don't know how much money I've spent on your card already, do you, Don?
So, I think that's the key word there, right? That you know of, because that's always the general misconception, right? Oh, it's. I'm like, dude, don't worry about that, man. What you don't know, you don't know. But trust me, Apple is doing a really good job. They're paying.
Yeah. No, they're whatever they're doing to stop it from the bad sites from popping up on my screen.
Yeah.
My browser history popping up now.
Yeah, I like auto. I like auto clear browser history. That's what Don is saying. I like that.
Man. No, I definitely don't even think about going to anywhere close to that. And shoot, I was telling my wife the other day, we were going to Google something, and it was just too close to something that would trigger the wrong Google. I'm like, nope, I'm not even going to type that into my phone. It's not even going close to there. So,
yeah. That's why that if it's a legit site, or you think it's a legit site and you're questioning it, I forgot there is a website that you go to, and it is the computer that does the browsing. I forget which site that is, but like it's not even on your computer, like it's on theirs.
On their own. Yeah. Well, you get you a VPN. It's that simple.
Yeah. I have VPN for my
VPN private browsing or whatever.
Yeah. Once I get the I got the Dream Machine. Once I get some time to run this damn
dude,
cable
over. You guys haven't set it up yet?
No, I haven't.
He hasn't called me even for the mini DSC yet.
Dude, it's almost like 2 months.
Well, you told me you only had Monday and Tuesdays, and I worked my ass off Monday and Tuesday.
Check this. Well, yeah, me too. So I didn't have time those days anyways this week. Dude, like the UDM, you can set up your own. You download your config for your VPN, and it's like its own WAN connection, which is really cool. And you can tell it which device, like you can say, hey, I want this device to go out that connection always. And you can say, hey, I want anything on my network that goes to, hometheaterhorizon.com, because I know how sketchy that site is, to go out this VPN. So it is. The more I'm like so glad I was like, man, okay, I'm glad I upgraded. This is cool. Like,
I got it sitting in the box still. So, but look, I told my wife I need to order a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to order the NAS, the one that you suggested. I'm going to order the expansion module. I'll probably order a couple more drives to get the expansion module started. And then I'll add drives. I think I can add them as I go along, right? I don't need to buy eight more drives for
the only thing.
Is that the new QNAP?
You just want to decide if you're doing RAID. You want to have the minimum of 3 to start, and then then you can expand as however you want.
Because I already got 8 drives that'll
But
go
they
in
have to be
in
the same. They have to be the same size.
Right. Yeah. So I already have 18 terabyte drives from the Arvolution NOS that we did.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got those.
Yeah.
And then, but do I need to buy more drives for the expansion module right away for the JBOD?
If you're just doing JBOD, which means it's just
a bunch of discs. It's
just a
independent.
bunch of discs. It doesn't. They don't have to be the same size or
Okay.
anything.
It treats them like individual.
You have to.
Look, man, you guys are talking above my head. I mean, you
I
talking
know.
about WAN and shit.
I'm just listening.
I thought you were talking about the band Wham. You know?
Yeah. The caution I give you, like, and people starting out, JBOD's fine, right? You have one 10 terabyte hard drive. Maybe you have another 4 terabyte. Maybe you have another 12 and you just use it as a NAS, right? To where everything can locally get to your
That's
stuff.
all I need.
But that's okay because you always have to have a backup. Your backup can be, you might get a 20 terabyte USB drive off to the side that all that stuff's backed onto. So then everything in your house can still get to this NAS. If you do JBOD, remember, it doesn't matter. If you have 4 disks, for example, no matter what, if one of these drives disappears, that data is all gone. Gone. It doesn't, they no longer exist because the way JBOD works is it maps itself based on all the drives and it splits all the the data across all these drives, and it's not a RAID. It's not wasting a drive. So if you have a large pool or a large disk size, always go RAID 5. But the thing is, in your scenario, you would do the RAID 5 at the beginning, and if you buy an expansion bay, you just add it goes to that same RAID.
Okay. But my question that I have is, when I buy the expansion bay, do I have to have all 8 slots filled with the drives, or can I?
No, you can do one drive at a time. So you're going to have all 8 drives, and it's going to be RAID 5 minimum. And then you're going to add an expansion that has 8, 12, whatever it is, and you can add one more drive, no more drives. And
see, Mike, I told you the conversation's going to go everywhere, right? I told you there's no.
I'm just saying I don't want him to be like, man, this. I'm like, dude, no, you don't. No, you will not. Because I was like, why would you do JBOD? You're going to be running RAID 5 and your other. You just like I said, the only limitation is you start with 18 terabytes. Your expansion are going to be all 18 terabytes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
not a problem. That's fine. I mean, I think I'll have more than enough.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have, if you do what the 2 things, you're going to have like 300, you're going to max out the capabilities of the actual OS operating system. You're going to be like 300 terabytes or something.
Yeah. Cool. So let's get back to Mike here. Mike, what does it take to build a good box, man?
Lots of bracing, good planning, and that's it. It's pretty easy. You do it so much, it's like riding a bike. You get on and just go. Every time it's just a certain put it together the same way each time. It's kind of,
for those of us that have never built a box though, like,
so what I do is, so I plan the whole thing out. Like I'll model it. I use WinISD. I'll model it, and then I get whatever box size someone wants. I write down the whole cut sheet on paper, just kind of go over it in my head and just figure it out. It takes probably like 10, 15 minutes to get the cut sheet written out, and then have all the wood cut. And then what I do is I get everything cut first, like the baffles for like the holes. Like you see behind me, you cut all that, you do all the bracing, you get all this like time consuming work. You get that stuff done first. And then once everything's cut, all the panels, then you start assembly.
So, all right, you talked about the baffle, right? So
yeah.
I've always been, from what I've been told, is that you either double or triple layer the front. Is that correct?
Yes. So these will have a triple layer, the 24. So there's like inside there's it's 3/4 inch inside, and then the first layer, or I guess you could say the second layer, and then the outside will be recessed. So you kind of see like, I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
How it's like 2 layers and then like the outside. That was
Okay.
done. I just that was today. So that's like very,
So, and you just
very
use the
rough looking
router
right
to
now.
cut that, cut that out. You use the
Yeah,
router.
flush trim bit. Yep. Yep. Like
Okay.
I have all the Jasper jigs. I got the real, like the really, really big ones where you cut like 40-inch holes, and then I have 2 sets, a smaller one that goes up to like an 18-inch sub, and then when you get in the 21s to like 33-inch subs.
So
you
this
get a
isn't something
fast
you
one.
could just drill a pilot hole and cut something out with a jigsaw, right?
You could, but it's
You
not.
can. It's just not as it doesn't look as good.
Yeah,
You can do
like
the
the
string
sub.
and a nail technique and just
Like you put the
it's
sub in, and it may jiggle.
yeah.
And like if I'm charging someone to like build them a box, like no one wants a box that's cut out the jigsaw. So everything's got to be
Yeah, you're not
routed.
selling that one. That's for
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
sure.
everything's
exactly.
got
I'm
to be
just
like,
saying for people that are, look, I mean, I'd love for everybody to go to your website and order from you. You know,
yeah, I
that's,
appreciate it. Yeah.
you know, but if somebody wants to, you know, like me, I've always said on the show that yes, Paul, it's taken me 4 years to build my theater. But I've always said on the show, look, I could have afforded to pay somebody to do it,
We're
but
coming up on 5 years there,
but
buddy.
I
It took
could
2
have
years for
That
me.
in perspective.
I could afford to have somebody build it for me, but I enjoy doing it. You know, I enjoy working with my hands,
Yeah.
right?
Same here.
And
Yep.
doing that type of stuff, right? So and just to have the pride to say, hey, I fucking built this thing, right? You know, this is,
That's
you know,
absolutely. That's like with me building boxes. Like I love when I'm done and it comes out. It's a seamless finish. It's paint looks awesome, and you're just like, wow, I did that. And then the person throws their sub in it and turns it on in their room. They're like, oh my god, the amount of bass. Like Ray, that's in Texas, like with all the 24s he has in his room and 21s, and then the near field setup, like his walls are about to cave in. It just feels good when someone's like, this just sounds awesome, and it looks good too. So it's rewarding. I enjoy
So,
it.
so how do you work with your clients to get the right customization or measurements and things like that, right? Especially since you do custom
Yeah.
boxes that can fit different use cases. How do you make sure, that because I'm pretty sure if I were to take some measurement, I'll probably send it with 3 or 4 inches shorter than
Yeah, no, what I do is I said, we'll get on the phone. I'm not afraid to call people. I just say, hey, let's have a conversation. Like, go in your theater room, get a tape measure. Where are you planning on putting the boxes? And then if they need help, like kind of like, well, what do you think? Then I'll be like, all right, put it here, 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 up front, back, the quarter points. What is your space? Most of the time, the people will be like, hey, like I only have this much room, like in the back, so I need like JTR or whoever, whatever company out there. um, their box is Power Sound Audio, like their box is 24 inches in depth, but I only have 20. Can you make it happen? I say, okay, 20 inches, but now we have to adjust the height, the width to hit the cubic feet that's needed when it's modeled in, WinISD. So once I can achieve that, the proper cubic feet, then we go from there, especially like with like a ported box, like you have to have it. For me, I like to stay. There's a couple different things, like your first port resonance in there, like 160 hertz. You want to design the port where it's 150, 160 hertz for your first port resonance. You want it higher than that or higher. You want the airport velocity under 24, 25 milliseconds. So you got to design like a bunch of different stuff to hit that criteria for ported boxes. Sealed's way easier. I love building sealed boxes because there's not a lot of thinking. It's a lot easier to build. It goes faster. But
so just looking at this picture here,
yeah,
How many are you doing surgery on this thing? Look at all these clamps, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's woodworking right there, man.
Those
I'm
that
telling
was
you right now.
that was for the Eminence NSW 21s. We're going to that, and I think he was powering it with a speaker power amp. Yeah.
I mean that amount of clamps alone.
Well, yeah, that
you couldn't. That's what I'm saying. You can't build these boxes
Yep,
for the
exactly.
price that he's
Yeah.
selling.
I think I got
You
like
know,
60 clamps here. Something
Yep,
like
the
that.
clamps alone are more than that speaker
correct.
box
Yeah.
costs.
That's a
Yep,
lot.
it is. Yep, you have to have all the tools, you know.
That's what it is. It's like
Mhm.
that's some people too. Like my buddy JC that's in Michigan. He's like he can do it. He actually worked at Car Audio, but he's like, I don't have a router. I don't have 40 clamps at my house. Can you build me a box? That was like one of my really good friends. I was like, absolutely. So
Have you ever
it's just
thought
having the
about
right
building
tools.
these like wood diffusers? Have you ever thought about building something like this?
I haven't, but I want to. I looked into that. Yeah, building, getting like the OC, what's it called OC 703,
Mm-hmm.
the yellow stuff. I might be saying it wrong.
Owens
Building,
Corning, yeah.
yeah, that's what I have in my room. Then just stretching fabric around it, and yeah, or doing that for like diffusers. That's
Yeah.
Ray's room in
Yeah, the
Texas.
diffusers I think would be sound panels you could totally do. Like if you're
Right.
building
Yeah,
a speaker
those
box,
are easy.
and there's probably more money, than that. But yeah, the diffusers would take.
Yeah,
You could probably do. Well, we can talk after. I got all kinds of ideas that
yeah.
you can do for designs and
That
stuff.
one's the GSG box.
Okay. Let me go back to
The
that.
24 from GSG Audio, I think.
So you just put it together?
A guy like an hour north of me is like, hey, I don't have the tools. Can you assemble and paint it? So, yeah,
And this is what I was talking about. Look at this. There's something like this, two
those were
columns.
7 feet tall. Those boxes. Those were
That
the
is
21s.
cool.
See, that's exactly what I was just talking about. Yep.
So he lives like downtown Chicago. Was like God, it was like Lincoln Park or something.
Oh, geez.
Crazy young neighborhood. And he was in the basement condo. It was a condo, and he had like all these 21s. He had a 24 in there. It was crazy. But he was just like, listen, I only have so much room in the back of my room. They'll have to be super tall. So we ended up coming up with that.
Yeah, my ceiling, my behind my screen, I have 10 feet. So that would be awesome.
Yeah.
To do something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then that was
Go 24s, man. You got to go 24s.
yeah, that was Mark Giovanni right there. That's
32.
Mark
32.
Giovanni's.
This one?
The next one that are just MDF.
I see.
Yeah, that's you guys know him from I think the Kansas City, the M-Wave. Yeah, that's that was his near field. Those were UM1822s and those.
That's happening. Kansas City Theater Tour is happening next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I wish I could go. God,
yeah.
Next year I'm going to make it happen.
So you build just regular speaker boxes too, right? So it looks like this might be a coaxial or something like that.
Yeah, that was DIY Sound Group Volt 6s. So the cool thing about that is, there's a company called DIY Sound Group, which now is called. They just changed their website. It's called Sir Energy. I started like a Facebook group called Sir Energy Audio Enthusiasts on Facebook for it because they changed their website. Everything's going to be moved over. I'm guessing. I'm in a month. I'm not really sure. I'm following on ABS what Eric says, the owner. But Matt, the cool thing is the guy who designs all the kits for that lives 20 minutes west of me, Matt Grant, MTG 90 on ABS form. So he showed me so much stuff. That's who taught me how to design boxes and different stuff. I knew how to build boxes, but he showed me WinISD and just home theater subs are a little bit different than car audio. Don't get me wrong, it's the same, but it's just there's I don't know. I don't want to offend the car audio guys here. They don't brace as much as the home theater guys do. Put it that way.
Yeah, they don't care about the resonance. The
They,
license plate's going to vibrate anyway.
pretty
So
much. Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah,
room is just crazy. The one you're looking at now, that guy, he's got to be in the, oh my God,
that
upper
looks like
140s.
what that looks like
That's not
Like
Kyle.
Kyle Bliss's setup, right?
That's
yeah,
not
Kyle Bliss. Yeah, that's what it looks like his room. Just about.
Yeah, that's JTR with stereo integrity subs and the 21s. That right there was a man up in Minnesota. Um, he goes, "Hey, I love the sound of these Kef speakers, but I want them in an angled box because I want them to, I want them for I think his plan was like Atmos. He wanted them for side surrounds, and his column could only fit like a certain size. So he literally gave me like he gave me the size, gave me one of the speakers was just like, here you go. And
Oh,
then all of a
so
sudden, a couple of
that's
weeks later, I
cool.
got the rest. So it was kind of, yeah, it was kind of a cool situation. So I ended up like, he found like all these cuff speakers from like Best Buy that were clearance. He didn't care about the boxes. So it was all like B stock. He's like, just throw away the boxes. So it's kind of cool to see like how they built their boxes,
Mm-hmm.
their crossover and all that stuff. So I pulled the crossover out, the speaker, built those angled boxes, and he, used them for a little bit.
Wow.
That is awesome. That's
Yeah, I
cool.
liked a lot of little stories of this. Same guy. He changed from the ones you looked into that. That's a GSG. Those who's using all different DSP for mini DSP for that. That's a GSG Audio Evolution 24 box right there. Look at the bracing in there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Kevin's a nice guy. I've known him for
yeah.
years.
for sure.
So I'd imagine if you get one of their packs, you can throw that thing together without even looking at any instructions, right?
It's really easy. It's like don't give. Here's the thing: like they're 24s. You better have like 20 like braces. You need like you do need stuff to do it. Like it's not impossible. You could put it together with like a brad nailer, glue. You really could, but like I would suggest you need not braces. I mean clamps. You need like 20 clamps for that. Like I used a lot building it. It's a big box, it's something that size. You're paying a lot of money. You don't want to mess it up.
Yep.
There's some more of the Kef drivers.
Yeah, that's an airfield, like an angled box. The
Yeah, that
50
looks nice.
pencils.
Yeah, it could fit right behind your angle, your theater seats when they lean
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
That's like another thing too. Like in my room, I have like, God, was this? I'd have to measure. It's either 16 or 17 inches behind my last row. So I have a box that's very familiar, like looking to that. So I have 615s behind my last row that are ported. So I built something that's angled like that. So like when you recline your chair, the sub's literally like 2 inches from your head. It's kind of
Wow.
cool. So when you play like John Wick, you're getting that, that blast in the back of you, and it's ported right in the middle so you can kind of feel the air by your feet. It's pretty neat. That one was sealed though. I think those were
Yeah, I mean,
actually 12.
those, you probably got a lot of experience building those from your car audio days when people would come
Yeah.
to you with trucks, right? With the truck
Oh, yeah.
box, right?
Yep, the Rockford Fosgate subs and
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
JL Audio,
I had the
We
I ran JL Audio and extant amps. Yep.
I
Yeah,
had two 15-inch Rockford Fosgates with the Phoenix Gold amps.
Yeah, same here. Oh my God, I'm 44 for my
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I had that for all the speakers inside of them. God, I forget what other amp I had for the subs. Those were the 1099 exclusive DIY Sun Group boxes, flat packs. I put
Oh,
together.
cool. So
Yeah,
you'll build.
Those are all just custom, like by hand.
Yeah, you do full custom,
everything.
any custom speaker box design.
Yes.
that
Yes.
they want.
You think it up and I'll do it. Yeah.
True, look at
I'll
that
think
one.
it up.
Yeah.
Those were tall.
Full
Those were like
Martys,
6
right?
foot tall.
Yeah, that's Ian has two of those. And yeah, they're like refrigerators, man. They're like they're like 3/4 refrigerators.
What's that reminds me of like the Wisdom ones, the big Wisdom boxes that they have like that. Those Have you ever seen those before?
I haven't. No.
Yeah,
I'd
Wisdom
like
makes
to.
this gigantic sub, and it has like all kind of different compartments in it, and
Oh,
different.
wait. Was that the one that was like a 50-inch sub or something? What's his name from? Yes.
No, that's
Yes.
Ascendo. Ascendo is the 50-inch sub,
Okay, that was
but
Ascendo.
Wisdom also makes a huge sub too
Okay.
that has all kind of different ways for the air to travel through and everything else like that. So it's check them out. Check out Wisdom Audio subs.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
they're,
those
they're
were UM1822s. Those boxes, man, in his space, the guy was still remember him, nice guy, Cliff. Um,
Damn.
God, his room, for a $330 sub right now, from I think it's 330. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 340. I don't know. The UM1822s, you'd be surprised how much output those things have. And boxes that size, it's pretty impressive
yeah. I'm gonna.
for the money. It's
Yeah.
I my plans were to put the new UM10s right behind
okay.
my sofa.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
And I'm gonna build them right. I braced the my riser to where I made a little compartment right into the riser. So
Okay.
I'm gonna dabble with them and see if I like them for as cheap as they are, man. I mean, I can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Even if I don't use them, I can get my money back.
You'll like them, but I don't know that if you tune them right, you'll leave them on. But yeah, I don't know that you'll be cranking them up.
I'm telling you what, I got a lot of tactile bass now as it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
With
bet you do.
815s.
Yeah,
Oh
if
my
I had a
God,
sealed,
that's awesome.
room, I wouldn't even need near fields.
Yeah.
To me,
So I have the monolith 215s.
How do you like those?
I have two of those, and I have two Rel 1508s stacked in each corner. So I have a total of 815s in the room. So
Wow.
but I don't know. I don't like the way that the monoliths are mini refrigerators, or not mini
Yeah.
refrigerators. They're
man,
full
you
refrigerators.
need to do
yeah.
you need to do a theater for Don, or a box for Don's room for his corners, and do
Yeah.
45-degree angled so it looks like it's part of the acoustic
Yeah,
panel,
that would be cool.
floor to ceiling, and you could do like either 3 18s from floor to ceiling. Don, you need to have him.
Yeah, we're gonna talk for sure. because I like I said, I don't like the way that they look. Now, do you put all the the padding and stuff inside of the boxes too, or is that
That was like I like to use like the denim
Mhm.
R13 denim insulation over that, but that's what I use for
Yeah,
that.
I think they use polyfill too, right?
Yeah, polyfill. Yeah. That was all Baltic birch. That box it wasn't too bad in weight. Those are actually, if you go to the next picture, those are my mains. Yeah, that right there. That's the waveguide
Okay.
with the compression driver. I built those too. A bunch of 18s and a.
Look at the size of those, man. Jesus. So
That's a full Marty right there.
yeah, when you ship these out, like what do you ship them out, like crated, or how do you ship them out?
So there's actually, if you keep going, I think I have a picture of one of the pallets in there. I just get a pallet, shrink wrap them all in the pallet, and then the shipping company, I have an account with the shipping company where I could get quotes. Say like right now, if you would give me your zip code, I could give you a rough quote within 10 seconds. I'd write my zip code, write all the information, and put the weight down. That's my front stage of my theater room.
Jesus.
Those are 421s, and then my 20 hertz tune full range towers. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna see that in a little bit.
Yeah. So I just shrink wrap the pallet. You just click on the residential with liftgate service, and then they come to your house, pick it up with the lift gate. They'll bring a dolly right in my garage and then grab it. And then whoever's getting delivered to, it's the same thing. They'll take it right off the truck with the lift gate and bring it right in the garage.
What would you say the average shipping cost is, let's say, from, for four 18 boxes?
So I went to Atlanta, Georgia a couple people ago, and it was $380.
That's not bad.
That was with $4,000 insurance.
That is not bad at all.
Actually. Oh wow, that's with the insurance. Damn.
That was with insurance. Okay.
Yeah. All right. That
so
makes a huge difference.
So the boxes I'm doing now, it's a little expensive for these because these are 6 feet tall. The dual 24s and then the single 24s. The pallet I have is a 6-foot pallet. So this one, the quote I got Chris, was $500. It was like $498 or something. So it was a little expensive. That's with insurance. I know it doesn't sound too bad, but it's $500, $500.
Yeah, $500
Yeah.
for yeah.
But if you go to like U-Ship is really expensive. Like I've compared stuff and like they're $1,000 all the time for stuff, and like you don't know who you're getting. Like who I use, they rate all the people. You can read the reviews. I usually go with the same companies, to be honest with you. Same company, Roadrunner or whoever else. But it's but it's not too bad, considering what you're getting and how far it's going. So
yeah, and just the weight and the size, and I mean,
what would you say, like
between $400 and $500 to go to like Chicago to Florida, Chicago to California?
So like what would you say like I'm going to pull this picture up here.
You have to put your whatever.
You got this one ready
to put your sticker on that. What's the for anything you ship to California though?
So what it looks like you're ready to palletize this right here, right? It looks like 18 boxes, right?
That was the one that went to Atlanta that I was talking about.
Okay.
Nice.
I see. Yeah, so I mean so when you're looking at this, obviously you're like whatever driver it is, you're looking at the specs of the driver, and you're also looking at what cubic feet it needs and stuff like that. Then do you have a consultation with like, let's say I wanted a box that's, let's say I only had a stud bay that's, 2x4 stud bay, right? And I wanted an 18. Do you sit there? Do you talk to the people and say, look, well, I don't know if the 18 is going to be good enough because we can't put an 18 in a 2x4 stud bay, and
I would recommend a different sub. Yeah, I would recommend the SQL from Stereo Integrity, like a 12 or 15.
Okay.
Sealed to go in there. Yeah, no, we definitely, like, before any of this happens, if a person just wants to contact through Messenger or text, that's fine. But I prefer like having a conversation on the phone. They will have my address, my information. So like they know I'm a person, like it's not, they're some random guy out there building boxes for somebody. And then I'll give, 3 or 4 references if they want to call the people or message them, whoever.
And one thing that I didn't see a lot on all these, but this brings a question up for me. This one looks like it has a grill. Do you build the grills also?
Yeah. That was for Stereo Integrity HST18. Yeah.
Put the grills on. You're gonna get Don to build you some. I can tell already, man.
Yeah. So that went in Southern Illinois. Paul, really nice guy. God, he's got the coolest stories. He transports like all the, like the NASCAR, how they have those huge trailers when they race.
Yeah.
The stagecoaches that like they'll live on for like a week. He delivers those.
Oh, wow. So
he sees and drives like these crazy like custom motorhomes, like NASCAR drivers, and like just he's got really cool stories about all the different people he met. But those were his wife. So the whole thing was his wife's like, all right, you could have 18s, but I don't want to see them. So he's like, hey, can you do some grills on here? Because my wife doesn't want to look at them. And I was like, absolutely. So we just picked out some fabric, a couple different choices, and then that was it. Covered the sub, and
That's awesome.
now it's
So,
just it's more appeasing in the room.
so what the heck is going on here? We got
All right.
a cabinet that we're putting subs in, obviously.
So that was a cool build. Yeah, Mike Murphy was his name. I still remember it. God, that was such a long time ago too. Um, his room sounded awesome. By the way, I don't talk to this guy anymore. Met him, hung out just for a little bit, but sometimes you just go to like a certain person's. I think all your audience can relate. Like when you guys go to certain people's homes, certain people's theater rooms, family room, whatever space they have for audio and video, certain rooms just stand out. And that guy's room sounded awesome. So what he wanted a subwoofer on each side, but he wanted to make it look like an entertainment center. So in the middle, you could put your center channel in the middle. I made like a nook underneath, and then I made it look like there's cabinets, and then we got some like door handles from Menards and screwed them in, so it looks like you could just pull out the doors and like there'd be storage in there, but it was really a subwoofer box.
That
Man,
is genius. Yeah.
You know, and I didn't put a grill on that, but like if someone wanted something like that, you put a grill on the side for the, the wife approval factor. Like you wouldn't even know there's subs in there. You could put a grill over the
exactly.
center channel, the subs going out the side, and you could have your TV above it. Yeah, just I thought it was kind of cool, so I had to put it on there.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
was that one of your first cabinets that you built?
yeah, yeah. It was. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's my room. That's my star ceiling.
Yeah, I'm trying to go past your pictures real fast so that we
Yeah.
get the actual full tour of your place. So it looks like we got two ported.
Two
What are
ported 18s. Those were stereo
18s?
integrity HD
And with some
18s.
golden ears next to it.
Yes, those golden ears sounded amazing. Mike Murphy's room.
Yeah, the Tritons. Those
Yes.
are nice.
Nice.
Yes. He traveled hours to buy those towers too. Yeah, his room sounds really cool.
Yeah, I like the golden ears. Now these
Yeah,
we saw these earlier on the
Yes.
other pictures. Man, look at the detail on the angles on this. What made you come up with the design for this?
So that is that's a flat pack from GSG Audio. I wish I had a CNC to do that, or else I would.
I see.
Yeah, but it's when you go to GSG Audio and you order their flat packs, that baffles 3 layers like that. Like it just like the angles just keep stacking on top. They have like a whole. You put like a what do you call it? It's drilled out, and you put like a little. It's tip of my tongue right now. It's just lined up perfect.
Like a biscuit or a
Like a
dowel?
biscuit. Yeah, you put it. Yeah, like a dowel. So there's dowels. They come with dowels. You put the dowel in there, and you just keep gluing them on top. You really got to do some fine sanding and a lot of primer though to hide all those seams. Wasn't too bad, but it was a lot of sanding. But they turned out so nice though. Yeah, that was Baltic Birch Box. The one guy, JC, wanted some. He came up with that. He goes, "Can you put these on an angle and put a little ring around it?" He was real big into car audio.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was his like personal touch.
His Alpine signature.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. For those that don't know,
some of the same bracing. This looks
there's a cool story. So that box right there, I got a cool story about that. So you guys all heard of like Legacy Audio, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So Legacy Audio, like their boxes are like artwork. Like, oh my God, you see those at the show. They're absolutely stunning. Beautiful veneer work, and they sound amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I seen them at Spona. I know I worked it this year, but the year before, I really like their stuff. So long story short, Legacy Audio, those were the B stock subs. Those were the Extreme XD 15s. I forget what the boxes were. They were like $4 or $5 a piece. So my buddy Matt, the guy that designs all the stuff for DIY Sound Group, calls me up and he's like, "Hey, Parts Express has got a couple hundred of these. They're the Legacy Audio Extreme XD subs. They're going to be gone like in a few days. Do you want some?" I'm like, "Absolutely." See, he bought me 6. He bought 4. And then I just it's what I did was there's a device called the DATS V2 or V3 now is the newest one, but you could get the small field parameters from those subs with this device. So I did a sweep of the sub, got the small field parameters, put it in WinISD, designed the box around the subs. So it was kind of cool how it came to shape. And like the only thing was like there was like a teeny bit extra glue underneath. That's all it was. Like there was no major like defect.
Oh wow.
But I guess like when you're charging, a lot of money, like you want it perfect, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm
I think
sure.
Specatech had those legacies in his theater a long time ago too, and he raved and raved about those.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to like go into a theater room and just hear a full like legacy audio room just to see how it sounds. So that's right now that's a current build with dual 24-inch stereo integrity subs.
Hang.
So like it's not finished yet, but it's I don't even think those were glued in yet. I just like placed it and took a picture just to kind of show the guy. Those are my towers that are in my room. Yeah, crazy. And that's my room. Yeah.
That's your front stage there, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could only imagine it. Still got some Exponent stuff in here. Sorry about that.
Oh,
I
it's all good.
dumped all these files. I dumped them in here. Usually they dump in order, but they just dumped all over the place this time. So
Yeah, for all the listeners out there watching, there's the legacy audio subs.
Dang.
Yeah, before I finish the basement bar. Yeah, for everyone that's listening though, God, sorry about that, Don. It was probably about an hour before the show started. I started sending them all these pictures, so you didn't have a lot of time. I
it's all
should have
good.
sent it like yesterday. I should have been more prepared. Sorry about that. I
Look, we
apologize.
don't. I've always said we barely have anything scripted here, so it's we enjoy just doing everything on the fly. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
So.
I put you on the spot there. I was like, here.
Well, no, I
Sorry
thank
about
you
that.
thank you for jumping in because it was short notice on my end too. So yeah, really,
Yeah, it's no problem at all.
thanks for joining us. But I mean, man, this is some excellent craftsmanship here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, those were Volt 10s from DIY Sound Group. So this guy wanted I measured the drivers and just designed a box around it. Guy wanted them for Atmos. He couldn't get the flat packs from DIY Sound Group, so he goes, "Can you make them for me?" And I said, "No problem." So
when you're
go
building
back
these,
one picture. Go back
sure.
one picture.
When you're building these speakers, right? Are
Yeah.
you putting are the people requesting what type of hookups they want? Are you giving the option for speak on or XLR or what do you or just just straight wire?
I have recommendations, and I go all different routes. So I'll do like a Nutric connector,
Mhm.
Nutric connector. You push in. Um, push the normal, positive, negative, push the terminal in, put the wire in. Basically, just every type of connector. Say, what do you want? Like I could
Okay.
do it all. So
Yeah, because one thing that I hate about my those monoliths is the XLR cable don't snap into them. There's no pin that holds them on the top.
oh really?
Yeah. So I mean,
That's
I was
weird.
yeah, it is weird. It just pushes,
Yeah.
So but there's no, when you put it in, it normally clicks, right?
Yeah.
On my AVR, on my processor, and
Oh yeah.
even on the rails they click in, but not on the monoliths. So I was like, man, I got the right end even put in here. I was
Yeah.
curious
Because
so
yeah, absolutely. Because if you think about it, it's designed like those XLRs is kind of like pro audio. Like you're touring, you're a musician. You're
mhm.
on tour, it's just they're all click, turn, boom. You set it, forget it. You don't have to worry about it falling off. So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So you
So
wanted to
this,
mention something about this? Look at the
so
angle on
this,
those.
so this was kind of cool. Um, so I wish I could take credit for like me like cutting all the wood to that shape, but that was like, oh my god, I'd like to say 10 years ago. It was oh god, Squires was his name, I think, on AVS form. His dad used to do like flat packs. His dad retired and would do like flat packs and stuff. And I think it was either the dad or him I forget the whole story, but long story short, Mike, this guy Mike I built it for, needed a solution. He had this crazy shape in his basement right there. And he's like, I want like a 20 hertz tune box, but it's got to be in like this weird shape. And the flat pack came and he was just got it almost, that was like the start of like me starting to like charge people. He's like, hey, I'll build you a home theater PC and you build me those. And
That's cool.
I was like, absolutely. So he like set it up and a virtual machine on there. And like you guys were talking about like a VPN earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a VPN and showed me how to do that because I just wasn't sure how to do that. But yes, that was the whole trade for that. His room sounded awesome. He had all golden ear.
Yeah, go. I was going to say
everywhere.
those are golden ear too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But it looked really cool in the room. Like in
I,
that
I
little
almost
nook, it
went
kinda
with
pops.
I almost went with four golden ear towers for the rears, two for the rears and two for the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sound great.
I really like the golden ears. All right, so
That's my room.
yeah, so let me go back here to some comments and see if we have any comments. We haven't checked in with the
Anybody online yet?
with the chat yet, so we'll go ahead and check in with the chat to make sure
Sure.
that we're not missing anything there. So just want to say thanks to Benny for joining. Ariel, Andrew was contributing a little bit earlier. Big Jack, Todd, thank you for joining. You got anything start here, Ike?
I think we already addressed that. I think that there was a question. I don't know if we did, but there was a question about the new stereo integrity. If you built any enclosures for those.
Oh my god, yeah. Like every build's almost all stereo integrity. Yeah, from anything from well, the HT18s are now gone. He's not going to do nothing for a while with those, but yeah, the HST18s, the 24s, the SQL12s, 15s, 10s.
So
yeah,
if
that's majority of my builds.
if somebody wants you to install the speakers, will you do that also? The
Yeah.
drivers?
Yeah. Yeah, and an amp if they want like speaker power plate amp. Yeah. Not a
Okay.
problem. Yeah.
So they just need to ship it over to you, or
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. Just ship me the driver, ship me the amp, and then we go from there. That was actually the last build I did. The guy had two stereo integrity HST18s, and then he had a speaker power amp, the SP4000. And then the lower model, God, what was it? I forget the exact model. And then I mounted them on the back, recessed it in the box, and then put the 18. That was the picture you guys seen with the grill. That was
Okay.
pretty. Those were monster subs. Those, if you ever get to hear those in person, it's like a JTR 18. It's tons of X Max, could handle a ton of power. So yeah, those are real popular subs right now.
So we got Taylor in the house. Thank you for joining. Wade is back. What's going on, Wade? Derek, low to high. What's going on, low to high? Fred's back in the house. Haven't seen Fred for a little while. So thank you for joining. MFK Home Theater. So
You're gonna have to start signing drywall to send out to people. That's funny.
What? I didn't see that. Where was that at?
Oh, Fred.
Oh, Fred. No, drywall's done, Fred. We're way beyond drywall, brother.
You know what's funny is like you say drywall. So I was at this home theater meet in Minnesota, and this guy Luke Martin. I don't know if we got any old school AVS guys on here, AVS forum, but this guy had like, oh my god, it was like 10 or 12 21s in his room, and like 2 or 4 horns, just insane. So he turned it on, and Jonathan in Kansas City, you guys all know.
Yeah, of course.
You know Jonathan. So I'm in one of his videos. Me and him were outside the house with like a UM6 mic or whatever he had, and his outside of his house was like 120 dB.
Jesus.
It was just that was like his patio. We were outside with the door shut. We're going, oh my god! But cracked drywall, So his drywall was cracked. His drywall was cracked, and his cabinet was starting to hang from the base. It was like
Ooh.
one of the loudest rooms I ever been in, besides Scott Newby's. It was 150 plus
I just
dB.
got to put this guy's name up here because I like his name, Decibel Destroyer.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
I know.
So he says he was going to get 2 of those SI-18s. So now he's going to get the Ultimax. So
I might use
and then
that
you
for actually
already
a box
answered this.
name. Decibel Destroyer. I like that. That's really cool.
Then you answered this already. You create enclosures with plate amps, so you can do all that.
Yep.
So what's the process for that? Do you just do you just router out like the thickness of it, or do you actually make an indentation in the
I create a jig, like a template first. I measure the amp, see like what the cutout is, how thick the plate amp is, like the speaker power amps. Just they're not that thick metal. I think it was like 7.5 inches wide by like 14.5 high is what it was. So just make a template and then just router it out, and then I just use another um, bit for the router where you go down in the box a little bit. I think it's called a rabbit bit, and then just shave off like another eighth so the plate amp sits flush. And then you just kind
so
of keep.
yeah. So are all your prices up to date on here?
Yes.
Okay, so we haven't talked price yet, right? So let's for everybody on
So
here.
those prices are without shipping, though. Shipping separate,
Okay.
because I don't know where the people live,
Right.
how many they want,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So like
So we're looking at the 18-inch the 18-inch is this exactly what it is? It's a dual 18-inch box for $850.
no, it's single. That's
Single.
single.
Okay.
But that's everything. That's wood, paint, primer, speaker terminal. Like when the person gets it, they could either ship me the sub and I'll put it in for them, or they could, when they get it, they'll literally take like the wire, plug it in their sub, drop the sub down, screw it in, and it's ready to go. So that's a fully finished box.
So that's
For
polyfill and all that
only
stuff.
850.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then you buy they had those. I mean, SI's got those 18s that are on the cheaper side. Is that the one you say they're going to be discontinuing? They were like
Unfortunately, they're
$200-$300.
gone. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was God. I have a bunch in my room too, to sit on the floor.
yeah. And then we got
I think I got four
the
laying
Godfathers. I like the names here. The Godfather, the Sledgehammer. They got the 24-inch boxes here for $900.
Yeah, what I call the Deerfield, the John Wick.
Yeah, I saw Untouchable.
Yeah,
And then like you said, these are the flat packs. The John Wick. There you go. The near field John Wick. So you get that, or in John Wick 4 when he's punching the post.
yeah.
You get that directly in your back.
I'm a big fan of I love when people like build stuff like on the different forums and Facebook, and they'll like call it something. I just think it's fun. It's like a conversation piece, or like, hey, I have the John Wick, or I have the Godfather. Like, you laugh, it's funny. Like your your cousin comes over, your friend, you're like, these are the Godfathers. Like, it's just funny. It's something to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got the Fury here. That's the Fury from the movie Fury, right? 21-inch.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What you spoke about some of the drivers. So if we're that you would recommend, like the drivers, the SI drivers, right? I knew the 18s, they were around $300, so they used to be, right? So all in, you get an 18-inch subwoofer for before, obviously for like $1,200, $1,300. I mean, that's unheard of,
Yeah.
But what since that driver's gone, what would you suggest putting into like the Sledgehammer box here?
So, all right. So there's a couple different subs. So like the stereo integrity. All right. So good, better, best is kind of like, and the price on there would actually change too. Like Like for that 18 is the price for the 18 right there is for the HST 18 because like you need like a quad baffle box is what it is.
Mhm.
If you were doing like a UM 1822, the price would be a little bit lower because it would just be two baffles. It wouldn't be as much work, so it'd be a little bit less. But again, good, better, best. So like you do like the UM 1822, the HST 18. There's, do you want to go pro audio? You could go that route too. You could get a BNC driver in there. Evidence has drivers, 21s. There's so many different companies. You are limited, but not. I wish the HT18 was still out because that was the value. I think it was 200 or 300.
Right.
It was
I
200
mean,
bucks is what I think it
even
was.
so, they have their best. What's their best? The carbon fiber driver that they have.
Yeah.
It was like last I looked, and it's been about a year since I looked at it, but last I looked, it was a little over $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Even so, you're under $2,000
But
for one of their best carbon fiber drivers and one of these boxes, right?
yeah. See, this is what I would do. I would tell, like what's a person's budget? Let's work within a budget. How much bass do you want? Do you want something to compare to like a JTR speaker? If you do, then you're going to want an HST 18 with a big amp, a speaker power amp or big crown amp or whatever amp you decide to go with. That amp that fits in a rack. Or do you want, don't get me wrong, like the UM 1822 by Dane Audio, that's an awesome sub, but it doesn't have as much output or X max as the stereo integrity, but it still sounds awesome. And that
Yep.
sounds like $330. So like that makes it, I'm married with two kids, so like when you're buying this stuff, it's kind of like sticker shock with your wife. You're like, hey, hon, by the way, I'm buying this. It's easier to get away with buying four UM 1822s versus buying four stereo integrity HST 18s. Now everyone has a budget, so if you can afford the HSTs, hey, buy them. I would buy them. It's direct competition with JTR. They could keep up with them. I feel no problem with the speaker power amp, of course. You need the
Right.
proper
Well,
amplification.
I think they're even using speaker power amp,
They
correct?
are. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff uses it. Even like his RTJ. Scott Newby has them. It's a
Hmm.
speaker power amp with RTJ badge on the front. Everyone does. The seat and sound. They're all speaker power amp.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have their own, like when you're a dealer though, what I don't know if a lot of people realize is like all those guys have access to DSP and those speaker power amps. Kind of like your mini DSP 2x4. The
Hmm.
speaker power plate amps all DSP, but only if you're a dealer. And it's kind of crazy the way it looks. It's more of like a click and drag. You'd have to see the software how it is. It's different than like a mini DSP, but it has more options, way more options. But you got to be a dealer. So
Yeah. So MFK Home Theater says the same thing you're saying. The Ultimate 18 works great for the price.
yeah, it's
So
awesome sub. Like I've built so many boxes using those. I'd buy them right now, put them down there. Just think about it. Like you get like four of them for $1,200, or I'd have to do the math. I'd have to look it up, see the exact price, but like you
They're
really
like
can't beat it for the money. And
Yeah.
the subs look really cool in person too with the carbon fiber. Like they're nice. They're not the carbon. Yeah, is it the carbon fiber? It's the
I don't think
God,
Kevlar.
the
the
UM18s have the
Kevlar or
carbon fiber.
They have the Kevlar.
the
Kevlar.
Kevlar. The
Yeah.
Kevlar. That's the right word
Kevlar
for it.
look. Yeah.
It looks cool though. It's a cool looking
Yeah.
driver. Like you
It
get
is.
that with like spray Duratox, or even if you had like a whatever you have, and they
And
look.
you don't have
really
to worry
cool.
about anybody punching the cone in on those
You
either.
don't. You have little kids. They want to touch
Yeah, the
it. Like
Kevlar.
yeah, it's
Hey,
fine.
I wouldn't bet on that, man.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
3-year-old, man. I
Well,
don't
there
know.
is no cone. I mean, you can push if you can still damage the seat.
So there's no surround on those?
My 3-year-old would damage
The rubber
anything.
surround. It's
Yeah.
got the rubber surround going around, but it's like a one piece. Like from what I was told, like when they designed it, it's the way it's glued in. I'd like to. Oh man, I
I'm gonna
think
pull
that
it up. So let's pull it up and look
I
at
There's
it.
a picture of one right there on the
Someone
right.
told me like a long time ago. I don't know if like the spider is already glued into it. I forget. I don't want to tell people the wrong thing. So I just remember it was difficult putting them together because the way however it's manufactured. It's
Gotcha.
still like stereo integrity, they're all hand built. Besides, I think the SQLs they still build too, if you want the carbon fiber cone. Yeah, those are definitely hand built. Because Josh and the guy from Sundown Audio and Nick are the ones to build those.
So it's carbon fiber cone subwoofer.
Yeah. When you
So
walk in someone's room and there's 4 of those up front, it's looks awesome. Or even 1 or 2 looks cool. Like they're cool looking drivers. Like for my room, I have pro audio drivers up front. The
if you get 4 of them, you can
BNC21s.
get them for $314.
Yeah. How can you beat that for the price with like the amount of power it handles and the X-Max? Like it's
Yeah. For that price, dude.
yeah, it models real well in the box. They're easy to design. It's just yeah, that was a winner. They got lucky with that one. Yeah, we need another like budget sub out there. It's just so popular because guys were.
I mean, I think there's a guy in Kansas City. He had like, I think he's got like 16 of the 18s.
Oh wow!
In of the SI 18s, the ones that were the
Papa Lock. What's his name? Or is he not living there anymore?
Chirpy, maybe
Chirpy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has like 16 of the 18s in his room. There's like four in each corner.
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
I actually toured his room and when with M Wave last. Man, I tell you, and then he has a huge 24 like near field. That place is absolutely insane, man. I mean, just insane. So yeah, here's the Dayton Audio. So what's the other driver that starts with an L? The
LaVoice?
the LaVoice.
LaVoice, or I forget how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
LaVoice. That's another like good deal too.
Right.
Like you can't beat them. I just wish there was another driver that was just like the UM 1822 in the same price range. Like there are on Parts Express, but like I wish like Stereo Integrity came out with another budget 18 because it helped. A lot of guys used them, but maybe one day Nick will
Wrong
decide
button
to.
there. I apologize. I was trying to back out of that, and it backed out of the out of the whole entire stream.
You
like, okay, you're done
all the way out. Man, you were quick.
Yeah.
I
Glad it didn't end it. I just had a pop, and I was like, "What was that?"
Yeah. So
You guys want me to run downstairs real quick?
Yeah. So if you'd like, just go ahead and if you want to turn your camera off while you're going through your house, and then come back, or whatever you'd like to do. But yeah, we'll get a tour of your theater there.
Yeah. How do I hold on 1 second?
So you got to go to settings, and then go to either, I think it's called camera, and then rear
Select
facing.
the rear camera.
Yeah.
I think it's rear wide.
Camera. There we go.
Then you can select the rear or back camera.
Okay.
There you go.
There.
All right, so we'll remove you from the stage until you get in there.
Okay.
So yeah, man. I mean, look. I mean, $800 for a box. I mean, Paul, you've been pricing wood and stuff like that. What how much was a good piece of MDF that you were looking at?
Oh God, I don't even remember, but it was I want to say it was either 50 or 60 bucks.
Wood is not cheap anymore, man.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
And
crazy.
that's just a 1 4x8, and if you're going to make a decent box, you need like for one box, you need like at least three slats. So you're talking like $150 minimum just for the decent MDF. And that's no saws, no skills, and that's the thing where like me, I have the skills per se, but I'm a lot slower, so it's gonna take me a lot more time. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's like, and I'm a perfectionist. That's why I never got into that, like carpentry and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm like, man, I'll be poor because eighth of an inch. It's like, oh, that's a gap. It's like, dude, no.
Yeah, whatever I build, it's going to work, but it's not going to look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't do it every day, but like my neighbor's father actually is a carpenter like Chuck, and he had some friggin' cabinets, dude. It was like a 16th of an inch gap on like the drawer that slid in and out. I was like, damn, dude. I never. It's like, okay, see, that's the kind of work I would have done if I was in that, because I'm like, it's got to be perfect, and that's the other thing, like even if you think you have the skill set to do something right,
I think we got Mike
when
right
you're
now.
learning,
Mike, can you
you're
hear us?
gonna make a mistake.
Yeah, you guys. So
Okay.
I'm the farthest point away from the Wi-Fi, so I'll try to make this
Oh, wow.
fast before
All right.
the screen freezes.
Let me put. Oh goodness gracious!
What did you
I'm
I removed him from the stage. Let me make him big here.
Enhance.
All right, there we go.
there we go. So I apologize to everyone watching. We're redoing our basement, so all new flooring, all new paint, all new everything. So
Can you rotate
Oh,
your
awesome.
phone? Can you
Like-
rotate your phone so we get a
Yeah,
live?
do it in-
Horizontal is what he's saying.
Like it's
Do it in
all-
landscape like
In
we
landscape.
did.
Can you
Sure.
turn your phone? Yeah.
Just turn it in your hand.
Oh yeah. Here.
There we go.
There
you
Now we
go.
get
Yeah,
widescreen.
now we get the full
Okay.
more.
Well,
So,
it's Christmas.
Yeah, so like we're redoing everything. It's getting all new floors,
That's
all new
cool.
paint. So this room is a mess. So I have stuff everywhere. So I apologize to everyone watching.
Yeah.
Here's
okay.
if anybody's into cars, this is a twin turbo kit for a Trans Am that I'm building right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
It's gonna be a drag car.
He just builds it
Okay,
all.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's
so be-
that's the rear.
All right. So if you could just start off with the dimensions of your room, how
Sure.
wide and how deep?
So it's 31 feet long.
Wow.
31 feet long, 12 and a half wide, like up front, and then it opens up to like 14 feet in the back. So my stuff for all the viewers, it's kind of old, but I think it sounds good. Amos is the DIY sound group, Volt 6s, side surrounds, and the rear surrounds. I know it's dark in this room. Those are DIY sound group HT 10s. Everything was built by me in here. The rack is a Marantz SR 7010, Emotiva 7-channel amp, Oppo, Blu-ray, and then a whole bunch of iNuke amps for all the subs, and then some surge protectors, my home theater PC, and then 3 more iNuke amps in the closet over here because I ran out of rack space.
In case you're missing
more
one,
subwoofers.
here's 3 more.
So let's talk about your amps there. Are you running them off of dedicated 20 amp circuits? How did you set those up?
So I have in my room, that's my side surrounds, what they look like.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I know. I'm so
Are
sorry to
those
start this room.
concentric? I'm assuming concentric drivers there, or
Those are. Oh, I'd have to look up the specs.
are
for
they
those.
full range, just a
for
full
this
range
question.
single driver? Or are they concentric with it?
It's got a compression driver in there. It's
Oh,
a 10
okay.
with a compression driver
Gotcha.
behind it. Yeah. So for this right here, so the top 2 amps are iNuke 6000 Behringer amps. Those power, each one does 221s, another 221s. This amp right here runs 315s, and that amp runs 315s that are near field behind my last row. These amps right here are iNuke 3000s. Those run my mains. So I have 13 and a half cubic foot mains for my LCR. They're custom made by me. They're tuned to 20 hertz. I play them full range. They call it like double bass array. I'm pretty sure that's what like Jeff from JTR would call it with his mains too, and subs. So they play full range for all my movies. They could dig down low. What it is the crossover that I used on them is the D. So all right, the crossover for the waveguide for the 6.5-inch mid and the compression drivers off the crossover board that comes in that speaker. It's a kit from DIY Sound Group that I modified to my liking. And then the dual 15s are the DSP is coming off that iNuke amp. And then me and Matt time aligned the compression driver and 6.5-inch woofer to the dual 15s in the room with using REW and UM6 mic. So they're all time aligned mains and they're set. Matt's actually the one that is the mastermind behind the time align. I just kind of like assisted him. I will not take credit for that one because that guy is super smart and helped me out big time. But behind here, I can't really get behind.
That's fine. We'll show the picture of that again when you come back.
There's 421s. They're like to say like 15.5 cubic foot boxes tuned to 15 hertz. And then my LCR takes up the whole screen, the whole width. If I could do this room again, to be honest with you, I would have the seats back here, and then I would put the screen back here because it's so much wider, and I'd be able to have like more room. I'd have a wider screen. I could have a different scope screen than a 16.9. So yeah. But then like my near field boxes behind the last row they're right here.
Wow.
So like when you're sitting in the seat, it's just, yeah, you're getting plummeled. You're getting beat up by the subs. That's for
and those
sure.
are 15s, right?
Those are 15s. Those were those legacy 15s. My kids have sleepovers all the time, so this room, I was scrambling to like clean stuff up before I got on today. So I kind of threw all the blankets. So like there'll be like 4 or 5 kids down here for sleepovers. I put a movie on. Everyone just comes down here.
That's awesome.
We make popcorn for the kids, barbecue if I got the smoker going, burgers, whatever they want, and then just it's kind of like a hangout for my daughter and all her friends and my son and his friends. So
that's great.
You know, yeah. So if it's like if I'm not you, can you still hear me? By the way, Don.
Yeah, absolutely. We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you.
I didn't know if it faded out. So like, what's that?
We can hear you.
It's fading in and out. Well, I better go back up.
So we can hear you.
We can hear you. Keep going.
Okay, you can hear me. So if I'm not using the room, my kids are using the room. So that's what
it's
I
all
like
about
it. You know, my wife comes down here too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, like my wife is down here with me too, but it's mostly like me and the kids. Like if it's a late night, if she's tired, she wants to go to bed, but I'm not tired, I want to stay up a little bit, I'll come down here. It's quiet. I put a movie on, and it's like, this may sound nerdy, but I love like the whole like critical listening. Like there's different things with different movies that I enjoy when it's just me. It's dead silent in the room, and if I want to hear whatever it is, like it is just like bliss to me. I love it. You know, it's like or a song or something, like you could really hear it.
Right.
So that's what's cool. You know, don't get me wrong, I love the family time too. Like we've even like we always do, our house does all the holidays. So like my in-laws come over, my parents come over, and everyone sits down here and we'll put a movie on. That's usually kind of like every other holiday we'll do something like that. So that's kind of fun doing that.
So what's the layout? Is it like
what's cool about this is it's not just for me, my kids like it too.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So what's the layout speaker wise? Are you running
the layout? So I have the LCR up front, the side surrounds on each side, and then the 2 rears, and then I have the 4 Atmos speakers on the ceiling.
Okay, so
and then down the road, the plan is to actually change it all.
So how many Atmos? You said you got 4, so you got
Go ahead.
7, 7, 1, 4, basically, right?
4.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
nice. And what are you using for your
7 point.
projector?
It's a Sony VW 45. It's an older
Okay.
one. I want to get like a JVC. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for like the 4Ks to kind of be out for a while. Then I'm going to upgrade.
Right. Yeah.
So I want to upgrade the projector. Actually, all the surrounds and the Atmos I want to completely change out, and the mains. I might be selling all this soon. I, as crazy as this sounds, is I want to build. There's a company called Acoustic Elegance out there, so I want to build a full Acoustic Elegance like system with like dual 15s up front with a giant horn,
Oh,
like
geez.
either like a really like the same compression driver that JTR uses. It's like a $950 compression driver.
Right.
Like the same compression drivers, all new everything. That's the plan. That's like long-term plan. So this
Right.
isn't like it's just this. I'm very happy with it, but I think it's time for something new in the
You're ready
next
for
year or
something that
two.
can show off to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
So
I
like
hear
this
you.
sounded cool, but now I'm like ready for like the next. It's time to level up,
Yeah.
basically.
What's the screen
It's
size?
like going from like this projector to like a 4K projector. Like it's time. It's time to get something a little bit nicer. I want to do like a showcase theater since I build subs too. So I want to put like like something on the side, veneer some sub boxes, put those on the side, kind of something over here, just to kind of like show like what I do. And I was thinking even maybe something back here. We'll see. I have plenty of time to do this, but I've just a lot of, I don't know. I come down here and I think of crazy ideas of like, man, it'd be cool if I had something there or over there. So
Right. Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
think we all do that though.
what is the screen size?
So this is a 120-inch. All right, so back on AVS forum, there was a company called Falcon Screens. The guy was in the Air Force and he drove a Falcon jet, so he created a acoustically transparent screen that he calls it a Falcon screen. So everyone raved about it back in the day. So I bought one. I love it. But then it went out of business.
I see.
So there goes that. So I'll probably buy like a Seymour Excellence screen from what's his name? Chris, I think the owner's
Yeah,
name
Chris
is.
Seymour. Yeah.
If I upgrade down the road or the brackets break. Yep. Yep. But yeah, it's the picture's awesome. I just have a
Oh,
bunch of
wow.
stuff.
Okay. So you have a stage up there and everything. Yeah. Now that you
Oh
got
yeah.
the brighter light on. Yeah, that's cool. We can see a lot more of the room.
And
Yeah.
did you
It's
use
dark in here.
yeah, did you build your sound treatment yourself?
I did. So it's all OC 703. All those. This I was given a demo, that's why like the panels are off from like the side of the screen and stuff's
Mm-hmm.
laying around. The guy I wanted to see back there that I just built boxes for, so it's all
I see.
down. But yeah, it's all OC 703. They're all sideways because when you turn the bass up, everything goes kind of crazy in the room. But it's there's a panel there, there's a panel there, one there, one there, one there, one
Okay.
there, one
And
there.
did you
They're
do
everywhere.
any was the room built in the basement, or did you actually frame it out and build it?
The only thing I did not do down here was drywall. I framed everything. I painted everything. I did all the trim work. I didn't do the carpeting. I didn't do the drywall. Yeah, I did everything
Did
else
you
though.
take any did you do any soundproofing measures or anything like that?
I didn't. I wish I did now. So the only thing I did was like the safe and sound insulation, which really isn't like soundproofing. It is,
Right.
but it isn't. Like I didn't do the 2 layers of like drywall with the green glue, hat and channel. I wish I did. Um, when I priced it out, we were doing the whole basement at the time. I did my entire basement. Like it's like 2,000 square feet down here. It's
Right.
well, with the storage area, it's 2,000 square feet, but it's like 14 or 1,500 finished. So it was a lot. Like we were doing full bathroom, full bar, family room, playroom, theater room, storage area. So it was like at the time I started pricing the company to come in and do like the double drywall, and like the price they give me was just like shocking. I was like, oh my God, forget that. Like,
Right.
I'm not paying $20,000 for drywall. It was like, it was a lot. I'm talking about the whole basement, not the theater.
Right.
So it was just a lot. It
No,
added a
it
lot
adds
to the
up quick.
quotes. I
Look,
said,
when I
forget it.
first started, when I
It was
first
just
started
one of
looking
those
for
things. I
someone,
still needed to get like theater chairs. I still needed to do the whole thing. It's tough.
Yep.
But
yeah, it adds up. So when I first started looking to do mine, I had purchased all the drywall. I think I paid $2,000 for the drywall, and I had somebody, which I kick myself in the ass every single day that I talk about this, that was going to double drywall and level 5 finish it for $4,700 for me, and I didn't do it. I was like, maybe I can do it myself and save that $4,700 and put it somewhere else. Well, 3 years later, the drywall still wasn't up for $4,700. So, and then I hung half of it, and then I had a guy interested in doing it, and he wanted to charge me $6,000 for doing half the work. So it's like, so yeah, so I definitely understand, So yeah, if you that's the good Dolby Atmos one where it walks around the room. I like that one. All right. Well, if you want to join us back up at the at your garage, that way we.
Yeah, let me get back in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I love it.
Let me shut this down. This stuff could all stay on for the most. Well, I'll shut this off. Give me 1 second, guys.
You're all good.
No
Just
problem.
take him off of stream. Add us to the stage. Go back here.
Hit one of those buttons.
Oh, there we go.
Not that one.
One of those.
Not this one. Not that one.
There we go.
There you go.
Ike runs the board normally. He was just slacking over there, so I had to take care of it.
I know, man. Ike works much better
it.
when he's sideways. Like he's at the helm. He's like, hey, man, I got this.
I just see a cigar.
That's right. You do need one of those. You need like a virtual one that's just water vapor, like the whole time. You just.
So Wade says multi-level stage is excellent.
Yeah, I really do love that look for a theater, because it really, like, that gives it a definition. Like, not that not having that is like, but it's just, I don't know, there's just something about just doing that, and it's never used. You know what I mean? Like
right.
That's like a really fancy trim on the front. That's
right.
a stage. But
I thought about
really
doing one of those in the front of mine too.
Yeah, it really is cool.
I tell you what, like when I framed it out, I was like, this looks so cool. But like the day the carpet installer came in, you would have thought like I just ran over his dog. Like he was so mad at me. It's so, you got it. I get my wife on here. Like this guy, like he comes in, he's like, it's funny. All the carpet was like all like cut out and stuff, and he's like shook his head. He's like, okay, so now I understand why this installer didn't want to do it. They gave it to me. It was already pre-cut. I kind of got some dimensions here. He's like, he was mad because it was like like the stage is curved.
Yeah, the riser and all that.
Yeah.
You have a riser. There's
He's like pre-cut. Oh, I got this.
Yeah. No, my carpet guy did the same exact thing. They came here and they were scratching their head, and they were, because look, in South Florida, they really, it's tile, and they don't put carpet on steps. It's like wood steps or metal, modern metal hollow back steps, so they don't put carpet on steps. So when the guy came in and saw, okay, I got a sub stand over here that drops down to one layer, and then it drops down to another layer, and then it goes back up. They were lost. They were like, what the hell, right? So
the salesman didn't tell me about this one.
Yeah, I at least took pictures and I showed them, right? So I at least kind of forewarned them what was going on. But yeah, and because I didn't want somebody to get here and be like,
I can't do that.
I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
So
You got to
I'd
be
love to. I'd
skilled.
love to hear from the audience, like if anybody's like watching, or maybe they'll comment tonight or tomorrow, whenever. Like, has anybody else ran into like that situation like that I ran into and Don, where the installer was like, "What the heck is this?" Like, because I get it. They're used to coming into a home and like just it's a flat room, but like you go into a theater room that has multiple like, oh my god, yeah, he wasn't happy, but it turned out nice. It did. I have no complaints.
yeah,
It did.
yeah, and I made mine to where I had them do it to where in case I ever want to extend the riser, or I want to shorten the riser, that was one piece that drop, one piece of carpet. And then my steps, I was actually telling Abe today, almost broke my leg the other day because there's about a gap about this wide between my steps and my couch.
Yeah.
And my foot slid off the corner of the step and actually went under the couch,
Oh my god.
and I fell backwards, and
Yeah.
and it's because I don't have like a side table there or anything, but I purposely left it like that just in case we ever get a larger couch, right? So it's like, well, shit, I think I'm going to tear that back up now. And I had them carpet just that step individually so that I can rebuild it and make it the full width to actually touch the couch now, So when I moved the couch and I actually cut the holes in the rest of the holes in my riser to put those 10-inch. I'll probably have them. I'll probably rebuild the steps, and I have extra carpet, so
Now
I'll
those
just
10-inch subs, those are your near field subs, right?
yeah, they're going to go directly right on the couch.
I
Like
tell you,
right there.
near field was such a game changer to me. I'm sure all you guys have experienced it on
Yeah. Oh yeah.
on here,
Yep.
but it's. I remember like the first time hearing it, and I was like, "This is just awesome."
Yeah.
Like, I forget what I was watching, but I just remember being like, "This is it! Like, this is so cool." The effect you get, the feeling, like, oh my god! And then watching like, you know, 13 Hours Benghazi, or like whatever, John Wick, like anything, like in those gunshots and blasts, and just oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's one thing I suggest to everyone. I'm like, everyone's just gotta experience it or have it in your room, because it's fun.
Yeah. I just want to show everybody your front stage since we weren't able to show that. Let me see if I can blow that
Yeah,
up.
put it on full screen. Try the full screen, see what it does.
Yeah, you're just on preview, man.
I clicked into it.
So what if you put the actual frame in full layout?
There you go.
I just blew it up some.
Yeah.
So the ports for those boxes fire off to the side. Like the ones that are on the right fire off to the right side, ones on the left fire to the left side. It doesn't look like it, but the right and left side are towed in a little bit. So the ports do have space. Like if you're in the actual room, it don't look like it, but there is room for like.
yeah.
Yeah, you can actually see it over here on this one.
Yeah, now that you say that with the shadow lines, yeah, you wouldn't know it. Like especially the left one still looks flat, but the right one
Yeah, it's because the screen's in the way there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun experiencing it.
Dang. So, have you ever built or thought about building like boss platforms? Or
I have. Oh my god, yes.
That's what I was wondering. I'm sure you have, but
Oh yeah. I have not built nothing for it, but I've experienced it, and it is cool.
yeah,
Like, there's so
yeah,
many
that's
different-
almost too much at some point.
Oh my
It's
god,
like, oh man, good God.
God, like the different versions of it, like people are using like tires, and like God, the one guy on AVS forum was like, "Oh, you put this much air pressure into it," and then he put, oh man, I'd have to like read it over again. What's
I don't
that,
know.
Doc?
For me, it's like freaking car maintenance. I'd have to be checking the tire pressure and shit to make sure.
I know.
Dude,
I don't know.
no, man, you get one of the tire sensor things, and you have the app, and the app will notify you if your base pressure is low.
No, but I think the one Justin, his name's Justin, he's in Jersey. I think he's got like inner tubes, and then he's got the stereo integrity SQL 10 or 12, I think. I'd have to like look it up and like see exactly. There's so many different like variations and like how you can do it. Like
Yeah.
that guy, what's his name? S Burger on AVS, I think that runs that thread for it. Like that guy put in a lot of work, like testing and like, oh my god. We even had this thing back in the day. It was so cool. It was called the Vibe Sensor. It was an app. So everyone on this forum would be like, all right, play this movie, put it on your seat, blast it, turn it down to 0, and then post your results. And we'd all have like, I wouldn't say competition, but it was like you'd show off like how much vibration your seats would actually have, how much shake. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun. I don't know what they do now. I'd have to jump on there. I haven't been on that thread for a while. Oh my god, those
that
were
looks
subs.
like a car
All right,
stereo installation.
Oh my god, so this was funny. So I was hosting a home theater meet. I used to host like home theater meets. It'd be like Plainfield, Chicagoland, Plainfield home theater meet, DOI, blah blah blah. An AVS forum. I put it on YouTube and stuff. And I went to Seton Sound, Mark Seaton's warehouse up north. He's like an hour 10 north of me. And he had a bunch of like really good deals. Like one of them like was the original 24 that Stereo Integrity made that my buddy Jeremy bought. We had a couple LMS drivers, a whole bunch of stuff. So like I bought them, brought them home, and like put it out there for a display. Took a picture and posted it. So that's like the story behind it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
So that was the first version of my mains. It was just a single 15 with the wave guide with the compression driver and mid in there. And then I went a little crazier. Like what I have now, I want to do something similar, but use better drivers and a better compression driver.
So you did all the wainscoting and everything else too?
Yeah,
Nice,
took forever. It was like 2 years to do the whole basement. But it's like one of those things, you work, you get home.
Yeah.
You have 2 kids, and like, God, I still remember it was like, me and my wife laughed because it was like a nightmare, like I would have the kids, like here's the iPad or here's like they would play with like something, and I would have everything prepped like 2x4s and be like, all right, I got like an hour and a half before like my kids go crazy. So I'd knock stuff out. The kids would lose their patience and be like, all right, we're done. Let's go upstairs, we'll go outside or do something. But yeah, so the ceiling in my room, something cool like your viewers may even want to like look into, or you guys as well. So there's a company called Night Sky Murals that's out there. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them before.
No, I've never heard of that.
All right, so Night Sky Murals, really cool guy. I've talked to him on the phone. Only reason why I know about him was a thread on the AVS forum. So I kind of like checked out. It's a website. You can go on there right now and look it up. It's on there. So he goes to people's homes and will paint a night sky mural, and it'll be like you put your glow lights, you put your black lights, and it looks like a fiber optic ceiling. It's really cool.
That's cool.
So what he did was he sells of course, a DIY kit. 'Cause I'm into that, and it's like it's a little bit. I'd love to know what kind of paper he uses. It's almost like a piece of like thick construction paper
mural
you would use for like a project in school, and he's got all these random dots poked out of it. So check this out, guys. This is what's cool. So to get a 3D effect on your ceiling, this is what you do. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My phone was echoing for a second. So what you do is you have a dental pick, like you go to the dentist, you have the glow paint, you use painter's tape, and you put that piece of construction paper taped to the ceiling, and you stand on a ladder very uncomfortably with your neck tilted like that. It's the worst thing in my life. I hated doing it, but it looked awesome afterwards. So you take the dental pick, you dip it in the glow paint, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After the 5th one, you're done. So the first one is the darkest paint on the ceiling, and then it gets lighter. So you have to do it in a random order. And when you do that, it creates a 3D effect. And you just keep taking these templates he gives you, and you keep
That's
going
genius.
every couple feet. It was like $100 something bucks, but I got a full effect of like a night sky. See, there's the website. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks
That is
so cool. So like if someone was on a budget and you can't afford fiber optic lights and you can't afford, I think his name is Paul, the owner, to come out and charge you whatever he charges. Like it's only like a couple $100 for like the DIY kit. And the effects are awesome. There's a whole thread on it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This guy was traveling like all over. Like he had pictures, like he was like, it was like an indoor in-ground pool in someone's house, and he set up scaffolding like over the in-ground pool, and he's up there like painting like a night sky mural. It's like, oh my god, it was so cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That is some talent right there. That is some patience.
yeah. Like I don't
That
know
is
how
some
this
patience
guy,
and talent right there.
yeah, but he
Like,
would do like,
yeah.
oh yeah, he would do like a full-blown like Milky Way.
Damn.
Like it was so cool. Some of the stuff he did.
Yeah, my problem is I lack patience.
Yeah, like look at that. Look at that room right there. That's
Yeah,
so
that
cool.
one previous one. Yeah, that
Like,
one looked amazing.
Man, I would love to have
Yeah,
that in my room.
there's no way I'm doing all that, man.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be easier to poke the damn things through the
Right?
The fiber.
Yeah, I know. I was like, at this point, I think you got off easy there, Ike.
At this
think
point, I'm
putting the
poking
glue
all
on the fiber
900
optic
fiber
is
optic
easier than
threads.
yeah, putting a freaking toothpick up there with
I've
white little
seen-
dots.
I've
I'm
seen those
gluing it.
fiber optic ceilings, and they are so cool with like the stars that run across the
Yeah.
ceiling. Oh, I thought that was so cool. I would love to have that.
They're a nightmare to put together, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool right there. That was. Oh my God. He sold that house. He was a realtor. He had. I think he had like 18 stereo integrity HST 18s.
Dang.
That room right there. Yeah, that was a
Colford ceiling.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing I ripped my Colford ceiling out because I was afraid that it was going to affect the sound. It's one thing that I wish that if I wasn't going to do a star ceiling, I probably would put it back because I do like the look of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so
Pretty cool though.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for because I've never heard of this, and you said there's a DIY.
There's a
DIY.
Yeah,
there's
they
a
have a
stencil
DIY
kit
kit,
on his
yeah.
website.
Let's
Maybe
see.
some of your some of the people on YouTube, some of your followers can check it out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, for
It's
sure.
absolutely.
inexpensive. Does it show under products at all?
It's under the miscellaneous link, the very last option there.
DIY option. There we go.
Yeah.
What is? I wonder
Paint
how
it
much
yourself.
Does it say how much it is?
Easy to use.
No, it doesn't. Oh, there's a store there. Let's
Check
go to
out
the
our
store.
kits here.
Yeah, there's a store there. So
It literally comes in that box too. I got the same box.
That is pretty wild.
Just like that. That's it. It's like it's all black. It's got the little holes in it. Oh, he redid the video on how to do it. Painter's tape. I used like that green fog tape.
Mm-hmm.
Put
See
that
me,
up there.
I would want to spray paint this. So I wouldn't even.
yeah, I would have walked in there with different kinds of paint and like purple, green, blue.
And he gives you like it's like a green paint. You're looking at it, you're like green. Like this is gonna look weird, but it doesn't show like it's
After
the
it
effect
dries,
it gives. It's
yeah.
after it
Yeah.
dries, it's like it
It's-
looks
yeah.
different.
Yep. It's like white.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
That is amazing. Yeah. See, that's what I love about like little hobbies like this, right? Like, it's like, because, you know, a buddy of mine, Miguel, he's like, "Oh man, why are you on this or do that?" I was like, "Man, you hear the 90, you get to a point to where you watch or listen to something, and 99% you're just like, yeah, I've heard all that like 100 times already. Blah blah. There's always one little nugget, and sometimes you don't get any nuggets. You know, sometimes it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I heard everything. You know,
So the full ceiling kit's $240.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. It's
See,
like,
right
yeah,
there,
this is
though.
one of those nuggets. It's like, oh man, that's a great idea.
Right there. Think about it. Like right there. Like if someone is on a budget You don't have like a huge budget, but you want a night sky mural. For that, you can have a star ceiling. You just have to put in the hours. And
if you got the time and not the money, for sure.
It takes time and patience to do it, but it's like.
It even sells the glue, the blue glow paint and everything else too.
Yeah. Mine turned out awesome. I did it. It took like 2 nights to do it.
Constellations.
I bet I put in like probably 7 hours doing it. It was terrible. Like you got to take like ibuprofen before like you start because your neck is bent. You're like a foot away from.
Gotta have the neck massager ready for when you're done.
Horrible.
Like, okay,
God.
Well, let's make sure we got everybody in the comments here. I think we're coming up on time here, so make sure we got just Ike. Did you see anything in the comments?
No, nothing.
I don't think Ike knows how to read when he's not sideways. Like usually he's all over
There's nothing. There's no questions. There's no questions, right, Paul?
Yeah, there's been a lot of good comments.
Good comments,
I'm looking for questions.
Comments on my side. I gotta jump on my laptop.
So
I've been talking too much today. Sorry, guys.
We were talking about your boxes, and when the prices came up, low to high says what a steal. So
they love it when someone can talk more than me. That's like that's their favorite episodes.
Yeah, I almost lost my voice at Expona. Oh my god, it was like 8 hours of like straight talking. Oh my god, yeah, my throat was sore.
Yep.
That's place, awesome. We shook the heck out of that hotel room, though.
So the question, whenever Don asks, like, how many 20 amp circuits do you have running to your Behringer amp?
That's right. I'm sorry, I forgot to answer that one. So right now I have 220 amps and 115 going into the rack, and then I have another 15 going into the projector. So not much.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. I was like, I think. For me, I'm going to have 4 of the 6000s. And I was like, I think 220 amp circuits should be more than enough for that.
I know this is going to sound terrible, but like those 3 amps that power my mains, you're not supposed to plug that into the sump pump outlet. But I did. No. But I did.
Hey, it is what it is.
Hopefully it doesn't. I mean, it's doesn't.
Look, if you got water in there, you got a bigger problem. So.
Yeah, it's my ejector pit is what it is. So the sump pump is the other side of the basin.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's because that's on a dedicated circuit.
It is.
So for somebody that wants to do a DIY box, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about like a normal, like the 4 boxes that you had, getting ready to ship. How many sheets of MDF would you say that you use for, or HDF or Baltic birch? How many sheets of wood would you say you use on one box?
3 to 4 for those, because it's a quad layer. It's a quad. The baffle that you mount the sub on.
Minimum 3.
There's 4. It's 4. You mount them on 2, and then there's another 2 that recess it.
So you're buying a 4x8 sheet, and you're using 3 of them.
Yeah, and then the bracing inside. There's 4 window braces that are full, like they're full squares inside too. And then you have the bottom. So if you think about it, it has 4, 8, 9 pieces of just the actual square. Just it's a lot.
Do you use?
I'd have to look up the cut sheet. It was 3 to 4.
So when you do this, right? Are you using a track saw? Are you using a table saw? What are you using?
I have a Bosch router, and then everything else is rigid table saw, rigid 12-inch compound miter. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at everything.
So when you're ripping down the 4x8 sheet, you're using a table saw, right?
So what I do is I don't. So I go to a place. It's called Owl Lumber. That's out by me. It's a wood shop that is not like Home Depot. They deal with like custom wood, like people who build like tables out of like, you ever see like the natural wood the wavy
Yeah.
wood.
Mhm.
They'll make like a 12-foot long table.
Yep.
They sell stuff like that. They're like exotic woods and stuff, but they also sell like the real Baltic birch, not the stuff you buy at like Home Depot or Menards. They have like the real Russian 17 ply. You get it in 5x5 sheets is the real stuff, not 4x8.
Okay.
So it's the real deal. It's very expensive though, but it's very light, which is cool and super strong. Um, but they have, I go there because they have better quality MDF. It's $10 more a sheet than like Menards, but it's better quality. And they have a giant saw there that they will cut everything down. All I do is give them a cut sheet, hand it to them, and they cut it down for me.
Wow.
So they charge per cut to do it,
Right.
but it saves me like 6 to 8
Saves you a
hours of,
ton of time. Hell yeah. Yeah.
you know, if I got to build 4 of these boxes, like I email them the order, give them my credit card. The next day they call me and I come and I with the trailer and I pick up all the wood, come home and I start. Then there's still more work to do just because it's cut to size. It's still got to make templates
Put it
up and
together.
like
Yeah.
router everything. It's still a lot of work, but I don't have to cut down the giant 4x8 sheet.
You don't have to have a $50,000 machine that can
Yeah.
perfectly go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
That's what I was wondering. You know,
Yeah.
because
The next step, I'm gonna get a Shake Pro 5 CNC. Maybe the end of the year, we'll see. If not the end of this year,
Yeah.
beginning of next. But I'm gonna dip into the CNC world
Yeah.
because it just they'll speed stuff up. I'll buy full sheets then, cut them in half and throw them on, and just be done. Because
Yep.
everything CNC is so nice.
so
It'll save me time.
Yeah, hit me up when if you don't already know someone local, because I do like CAD and all that stuff and
Yeah,
3D
absolutely.
printing and all that. So it's
Yeah.
all the same same software where you're making it, do its thing. Because like Fusion 360 kind of does that, especially with the CNC, right? You give it parameters and you can tell it what you're doing and it can literally emulate, hey, we're doing this, and it's crazy. But the learning curve to get started on that is tough. Let's just put it that way. I was cussing a lot for my first 2 weeks, and but it's pretty cool because you can make things and basically say, okay, I'm going to basically do this tool head and this thing, and then you say make this, and then it just outputs the code that you need.
Yeah. Like I would love to be able to do, besides the boxes, make flat packs for people.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're going to buy one of those, you'll need an engine nerd.
Yeah.
And then once you figure it out, you'll be like, oh, cool. All right. I get it. Yeah. But man, that first, there's a steep learning curve. There's other applications besides the one that I use that I heard's easier to understand and get. And I was like, man, I wish I would have done that one. But Fusion or AutoCAD or whatever they call it I guess had a lot more marketing money for a while.
Yeah. Because in the world, like the DIY guys right now, there's really it's GSG Audio has flat packs. You could go DIY Sound Group, but you're kind of limited. They only have like a couple kits. Parts Express has kits, but there's not many. So there's not really a whole lot of companies that do it. So it's like it'd be nice to get a CNC and do something a little bit different than the rest of those companies. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the thing is, and I don't know, because you have to invest in the machine, right? But then being able to know or have someone that can engineer, we need a different shape, because that requires a total different skill set. That's like you are good at what you do in your main, daily driver job. But now add another skill set that requires as much time as both of those combined. It's like, it's hard.
It is hard. That's
the hard part.
That's where I'm at. It's like, I do not want to quit my full-time job, do this full-time, but like, it almost to see like how busy would it get, and then maybe hire someone to
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
to run a CNC? I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
I
I'm
mean,
not
look,
doing it yet, but
you got plenty of options. Like we talked about,
Yeah.
making diffuser panels out of wood, making
yeah,
sound panels out of wood, out of wood and stuff like that. So E4 Superfly says Mike's awesome. We should invite him on every week. So Mike, you actually have the link. We
Yeah.
try to run this like an open Zoom call. So if you want to pop on, pop out, just to drop in and say, hey, tell us what
Absolutely.
you're working on. You're more than welcome to join, no matter
Thank
what.
you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So tell them how they can reach you. Is there any other way to reach you besides the website, or
Website's got my email address and my telephone on there.
so let's go back to the
If you
the
go to the
beginning
very
here.
bottom.
So there we go. There's the
Yeah.
email address and the telephone number.
Yep. I'm on the phone right now.
So if what about if somebody just wants to consult with you? Do you
Give me a
charge
call.
for any consulting, or
I don't. Give me a call. I'm friendly. I like helping people out, so give me a call.
Yes.
I'll put you on speakerphone and then work on boxes at the same time.
Awesome.
I talked to so
Awesome.
many. The reason why is I talked to so many different people about like this hobby. It's the group texts from all my buddies in Michigan, and it's give me a call. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've already put the website, but it's mjmaudioboxes.com.
Yep.
So make sure you guys, if you a lot of us do the DIY stuff, right? So if you're looking to save money on on subwoofers that actually are would be affordable, um, you know, compared to, let's say, like we mentioned, like a $3,900 JTR and get pretty
it's
much
all relative.
right,
Like,
exactly.
You're getting 2, 3, 4 times the performance.
Usually people are saved, like if you would like a Captivator 4000, they're a little over $5,000. So you'd buy 2 HST18s, a speaker power plate amp, and you're getting like the same thing basically. And I'll build a box for dual 18s in there.
Yeah. So what about the crossovers and stuff like that? Is there what are you putting anything electronics inside the boxes or anything like that?
I'm not. So what the person would have to do would get a mini DSP 2x4 HD. I know the prices are up now, but they will come down.
Not that much. They're like
but
what,
it's
$250 now. They're still not that much. Like relative for what they do.
I don't have the software. I don't have the program to go to the speaker power amp and do anything with that.
I see.
Plus, I'm too like those guys that have a company. They build like 6 different variations, and for me, every single build's a different size. So it'd be hard to like have a program ready to like load into it. I'd have to literally do it every single time because it's different. Maybe one day though, never know.
Maybe one day. Well, look, we wish you the best of luck, and like we said, everything.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You're more than welcome to join us on the show whenever you want. Come here, talk home theater. Just pop in, man. We'd love to have you as a guest. And like I said, if you guys are interested in getting some boxes built, make sure you show Mike some support. Go to his website, place a couple orders with him. And as always, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, send us an email to hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. We'd love to do your tour, whether you have 2018s or one subwoofer in the corner. If you like it, we like it. So by all means, send us an email. Love to have you on the show. Mike, hang on here for a minute, but I think this is where we're going to call it quits. So until next time.
Thank you, guys.
See you on the next episode.
Later. Cheers.
See you guys.